We have no one else. Where is everyone?
I don't know. They'll show up eventually, or maybe they won't.
Bunch
Who
of
knows?
Jack Waffles.
Perhaps the last in like for a while, and they're not even gonna bother showing up.
Dicks.
As Lazy Neutrino just said, the last Alaboom of the Hangout era. So I don't know. We'll figure something out. It might be like late August before we're able to go again. But
I didn't know I was live when I was calling everybody names.
I can only imagine they just don't like to support it or whatever.
Oh, there's a lady.
Yeah.
See you next week.
No. Yeah, I know. I'm sure it's just something they don't want to support, right? It's not enough people use it, or whatever.
Use it all the time. I just don't think they're making money on it.
Aldi mentioned that we'd use vMix or something like that. So
he's got a plan. So we're gonna see how it works.
Yeah. So just we're just saying this. So like, yeah, I mean, the Hangout stuff is going away. So just keep in mind that we're gonna have options, and we're gonna Alaboom isn't gonna stop. I'm gonna continue going with it. We just have to we just have to figure it out after this. I can remember like when we first started doing this stuff, it was really tough to get it to work right away. Like it was just like nothing seemed to work correctly. I remember I'd give people links and it wouldn't, and then it became a really, really stable, really, really good thing. And
except for yours, because lower thirds don't work.
Yeah, I don't know. Goofy stuff like that. Like, why doesn't lower thirds work? But
only on your channel.
Yeah, just whatever. Who knows? It's just crazy, dumb things or whatever. But meh. I remember they worked for a while. I remember.
Yeah, they worked, then they didn't. Then we got them working again, and then they quit.
Or they worked for everybody but me. And then it was just one of those but it's a neither here nor there type of thing. But okay. But anyway, let's just stop yammering and I haven't even pulled up the Board Game Geek list yet. So
yeah, so I've got a list.
We got to the L. We got to the L, right?
We're ready for L, but I have
No, we did L though, didn't we?
I think we stopped right before L.
No.
I'll find out when we look at it. But a bunch of new crap went in since last week, and I've got A through J of what went in last week prepped up and ready to go.
Oh well, look at you. That smacks of effort. What was the occasion?
I couldn't prioritize anything for a week. That's how I filtered it out.
Oh, all right. Well, let me highlight on you so we can get you highlighted. So
get my screen share going.
Okay, and so take it away, my man.
All right. So from last week, Amigo comes into the party late with Saboteur: The Lost Mines from last year. So moving on, last year. We've got a limited Gen Con 2019 release of Agency by Carl Chuddick from Asmodee Games.
I'm always interested in a Carl Chuddick game. But what does it say? Adventure the 220 islands in a game where every card can be an island or one of the boats. Multiple use cards. Very Carl Chuddicky. What it says for sale? I'm gonna guess it's like $20 or $30.
Probably it doesn't even say how much, but it'll probably look like butt, but play really well.
Yeah, I mean, I still like. Obviously, Glory to Rome is really, really good by him.
Yep.
The game that'll never be reprinted, and then Innovation. I always liked. I thought Innovation was good too.
Yep. Next up, Blacklist Games with Brook City. Kickstarter bundle, just like it was available at Origins.
Yep. Well worth it if you like co-op buckets of dice type games. So just if you didn't get in on the Kickstarter and you want to get everything, that's the route I go.
Yep. Brotherwise Games with Unearth the Lost Tribe. That's an expansion for Unearth, and I'm not going to gloss over expansions.
Yeah, I've long since gotten rid of my copy of Unearth. I played my 2 games of it that I wanted to play, so I don't know. I have no interest. Moving on.
Next up, Calliope Games brings us Everyone Loves a Parade. We made fun of this cover during the Origins preview, so I'm going to skip it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then Ship Shape, an auction bidding bluffing card game from Rob Davio. This must be in their Titans series, is my guess.
Yeah, I'm guessing. The one after this, and these were all, if I remember correctly, these were all available at Origins as well. Spy Master is actually is a very good game. I enjoyed my play of that. It has the I split you choose thing, which I've always liked in games. So, and it's just got a good theme. So that's a game that I mean, it's in my collection. I'll probably play it a couple more times before I get rid of it. So,
all right, rolling on. Catalyst Game Labs with Shadowrun Sprawl Ops.
Couldn't care less about this.
Couldn't care less.
Wow, you guys didn't waste any time.
Oh, these hey Richard, hey, these are the games that got added since the last time we did this that are A through J. So
I know, but I missed it.
No, these are put as the publishers that didn't care enough to get into the preview until the last second. So
yes, just quickly scroll up. What came before Shadow?
Okay, so I'll go back up real fast.
I'll be
Saboteur of the Lost Mines. Aegean Sea from Carl Chudik by Asmati Games.
I was reading about that today. It looks really mean, like really cutthroat.
Really mean, really cutthroat. Well, something just went on my checkout.
Just as an FYI for you, buddy.
You just thumbed up for Lance and thumb down for Richard.
We'll go ahead and put that on my interested, more interested.
Brook City, which we talked about for Origins.
Yeah.
Unearth expansion.
Yeah.
Everybody Loves a Parade. Ship Shape from Rob Davio. Spy Master from Seth Johnson. And now we're at Shadowrun Sprawl Ops in your product.
And that's just where I came in, whereupon I heard Lance say he has no interest, and he should double down on that, because as I understand it, this is basically Lords of Waterdeep in the Shadowrun universe.
Oh, really? Then people will probably want it.
Yeah.
But Lance could care less.
Well, I mean,
I was trying to make him care less, actually, just to put that.
That makes me care. Yeah, even less. Yes.
Oh, yeah. When I read it, it does sound, but it has dice.
Oh well, then sign me up, dice. Yeah.
Next up, Super Camelot English edition.
I know nothing of this game.
I know nothing of this game.
It has nice cover art. That's all I've had a chance to look at yet.
It looks like Zelda's cover, but it says Camelot instead of Legend of Zelda to me.
We eat ham and wine and spam a lot.
Dan Chris Games has Cthulhu, the Great Old One, Deluxe Edition for sale.
Well, wait a minute. I'm just gonna pull this up. I'm just gonna see what it says here. More details about Super Camelot. It does have pick up and deliver, something that I enjoy. Favorite author the flip tiles. Enter get popular with monsters. Intractable. This looks kind of dull. All right, moving on.
Cthulhu, the Great Old One, Deluxe Edition is a hand management set collection card game in the horror genre. It's a quick play card game. Match pairs give
no.
Sixpence Bakery, no image available. Don't know anything about it other than it's not on my radar. Tavern Masters from
I did a review of this a while ago. Yeah, I mean that's weird. Maybe this is I see he's got his expansion for it that comes out, so he must have then reprinted the base game as well. No, this was I enjoyed Tavern Masters. It was a fun little that genre of game or whatever. But anyway, moving on.
Next up, Crap Weasel Games. Devious Weasel Games from Boomer Jim Felly with 50 copies of the reprint of Shadows of Malice available at the show. So if you didn't get it while you can. Next up, Familiar Games with Mageling English edition by Joseph Butler
Again, know nothing about
Dice
this.
placement, engine building,
it's a
adventure
nice
game.
little dicey drafting worker placement type thing. It was nice.
Looks like a little one.
Yeah, but life is too short to play. It's nice.
Good Games Publishing has Fairy Season. It's a trick-taking, fantasy-based card game.
3-player minimum. No, thank you.
They made Unfair, which was great. I'll say that about Good Games.
I thought Renegade did Unfair, or am I thinking of a different?
Unfair was the game where you it was card drafting, and you made your amusement park.
Yeah.
But it was literally like it was very mean spirited.
They made it, but they had a partner help publish it out there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fluttering Souls, English 2nd edition, which is a 2-player only game about butterflies.
Yay.
So there, Richard, 2-player game. You go play that for us.
I had meant to actually get more prepared for today, but I ended up watching the Moeller stuff instead.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Greater Than Games has Homebrewers, a beer brewing dice game. I don't know anything about it. It's $40. It's a Matt and Ben joint. Matthew O'Malley and Ben Rossett.
No, I think they make games. Yes, they do. I mean, and they keep making them. So somebody's buying them somewhere.
Next up, Medium, a party game for 2 to 8 players. I know nothing about it. It's a social word game of reading your friends' minds.
I bet Aldi will love it.
Chad Roberts says it's a fun party game for 2.
There you go. You each play a card and attempt to create a psychic connection together to think of a word that somehow connects them. You go 3, 2, 1. You say it at the same time. So, okay.
How can you have a fun party game for 2?
I don't know.
Chad has.
I can think of a lot better party games for 2 people, and none of them involve this stuff.
Oh, a sexy time.
Happy Baobab has Decalco, the English Korean edition, a pencil and paper humor party game.
Weird that it's 3-player minimum.
But
I guess
next up is Gone Fishing, which is a action dexterity game. We use fish nets to gather as many fish as possible. And I think it's like Hungry Hippo sounded to me. But I don't know. I'm not prepared for this section either because they are late editions. And then Little Dragon, which is a little memory children's game for Forest. And lastly, on the makeup list from last week is Cowboy Bebop Board Game Boogie. I
love the anime. I mean, it's just like it's weird. It's like an anime that was done 25 years ago, and we're gonna make a board game based on it. I mean, I guess maybe, but whatever. Moving on.
We're gonna reload the preview now. And Aldi might be on later. We'll see if he shows up. He's got Lincoln and Nikki in town, and they're out running around visiting game stores and stuff. So,
good for them.
Yeah, they're doing
good for them.
Hey, I picked up Space Explorers this week. It's really fun.
Excellent. I didn't lie.
You did not lie, and you're not the only one that told me it was really fun. So I was not disappointed.
For once.
Hurry up and load.
Yeah, load already. Come on.
Come on. Show all. God, this website sucks. I wish he was here when I say that. All right, so we're looking for publishers.
He felt a twinge in the back of his neck when
he knows that he knows that happened. All right, H's, I's, more I's and J's and K's. And L's.
Filter is only for sale. That's the only filter.
Yep.
Okay.
So the interesting thing about Loki, so Loki Games is the new yellow print for the they're basically kind of like their kids games kind of thing. So their logo is a corgi with a like basically wearing a cape, and just like that's Loki. Okay. All right. So I saw that at Origins, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if a certain somebody who has a game, like there's I can't think of his name right now. David, I can't think of his name. Oh man, I feel bad that I can't. But basically, his mascot for his game that he came out with like a couple of years ago was a like one of the bad guys in it was a evil corgi with a cape called Waffles, and he has it all over his booth, every single booth.
I remember seeing the booth.
And then I was just like, so what do you think about that? And he had no idea. He's like, well, about what? And I was like, look at that. And he was like, WTF. He's just like, but he's like, well, yeah. And he's like, and then people are coming like, oh, hey, you partnered up with Yellow? No, I'm not.
No.
But yeah, anyway. So that's an interesting thing. So, all right, moving on.
All right, moving on. Laboratory H at the Mr. B Games booth has copies of Dark Domains, which I think you can actually get somewhat now if you order directly from them. I picked this up, and it's an interesting mean worker placement game.
Yes. It will not leave my collection.
It is it's one worth me keeping. It's different. So I liked it. Lay Waste Games has Metal English Edition, which is an action dexterity game. I don't know what the heck this is.
Okay. Solid metals, including zinc, aluminum, and steel.
It's made
all the best
metals.
metal.
All the best metals. Made me think of the old game Full Metal Planet, which was it was like a minis game about taking over a planet, and like the game itself weighed a ton because it was full of metal minis.
So it's lawn games reduced size for tabletop. Do they have jarts? Are there jarts? If there's jarts, I'll buy it. But you can't. The pointy ones.
You can't make. I have my parents. We have like 3 sets of jarts. Oh, we have 3 sets of jarts, like old jarts.
That's good stuff right there.
Oh yeah, I mean
I love my jarts.
Oh no, I mean and then there's a jarts tournament that happens every year, and like it's actually like it's some weird thing where it's like, is it not? They're quote unquote illegal to make and sell or something. Who knows? Which doesn't make any sense. Like you should be able to make them and sell them, but I mean, and just say, hey, look, you're gonna throw these giant, like heavy, spiky things. You need to make sure that nobody's like. But there's a big tournament, this jarts tournament, and every year there's like, at least a dozen people who get spiked in the foot. It's like it's like what are you doing? It's just like
stay away from the jarts.
Yeah, I mean it's just like but yeah, it's one of those weird things. But anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
Look up what a jart is.
You don't know what a jart is? It's a lawn dart.
Lawn darts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the brand name was Jart.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I was in Europe too long.
Yeah.
I've lost my rights to Americana.
Yeah. The brand name was Jart.
Okay.
Level 99 Games has Imperial Spells and Steam.
Now, this is mildly interesting to me.
It looks pretty good.
I like, okay, so like spells and trains. Okay, good. Card drafting, good. Designed by Trey Chambers, good.
Nah. Good.
Really?
Well, never mind.
Okay. Fair enough.
He's not my favorite person.
I like the little crystal rock train though.
Well, I mean, is that like you don't like his designs or just?
No, I think he's a good designer. I think he's not a very good member of the board game geek community.
Oh,
yeah.
Want a dish, or do we just leave it alone?
I think his online persona is very dickish, and I thought he was incredibly rude and demeaning and insulting to me. And he followed it up after I eventually left that thread, wherein he compared himself to Stefan Feld. And like, okay, I'm done with you. So
was this something on Board Game Geek kind of thing, or?
Yeah, it was a mostly nonsense, silly argument about the change to Carpe Diem.
Wait,
But
there's a. Wait, I'm
sure
I'm
he's
not.
a lovely person in real life, but I mean, over the years, I've always noticed he's kind of a dick, and mostly he just hangs around the Dice Tower forums and whatnot. So I've never really, but yeah, I've just.
What was the change to?
He made my time at Board Game Geek very, very.
The Carpe.
What was the change to Carpe Diem? I've never even heard about this.
They changed the action selection board.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
it's neither here nor there. I wouldn't want that to cast a spur. He's a good designer. What was his one for you guys? TMG.
Harvest.
Not Harbor.
Harvest.
Harbor was Scott's game, and then he did the Harvest. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Harvest was a nice little game. But yeah.
Carpe Diem, they did away with the star for selecting your path to going to a circle.
Yeah.
It doesn't really change what you do. It just looks different. That's what I've been told. Because I haven't played it.
It's a whole thing. It's neither here nor there.
It is a thing. Next up is Libelud with Obscurio English edition. This is on my radar. I want to try this.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious. This one is definitely on my.
I don't understand how it works. I must have separate rules for 2 players because it is a Mysterium-ish game. However, it has a trader mechanism.
Yeah.
So.
And yet, it's. I assume that must just be taken out for the 2-player game.
I would assume you'd have to. It's like you're the trader, you're out. Crap. Well, or you just know that one person's trying to stop the other one, but to confuse them.
Well, you can have the thing where there's 3 cards, we each draw one, and so maybe one of us is a trader. Maybe we're both on the same team. We can't be 100% certain. So you can't.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, even in this one, when the trader's outed, they still get to play. They just can't discuss which card is the exit, but they still get to pick cards to try to confuse the other players. So it's still got that. Even if they're caught, they still get to work against the rest of the players. But it looks like an interesting take on the Dixit Mysterium card thing. So I really want to try it. It says for sale on here, but in an ad I saw they sell it for demo at Gen Con, so we'll see. Next up is One Key, and it's already out, so I'm going to skip it.
Yep. I will add, it is very good, though. Really,
it is. One Key it's enjoyable, but it can go horribly, horribly wrong very fast. People talk themselves out of winning. Kills me every time.
Yeah.
Speaking of Loki and the dog with the cape, we have Farmini, a tile placement children's game. Followed by SOS Dino, which is a co-op tile placement.
I would like to just take a moment to tell a quick story about SOS Dino. Okay. So shut up. So I brought that. I got that game at Origins, and I brought it home, and I gave it to my son. I said, "Hey, this is a co-op. It's about saving dinosaurs. I think you'd like it." And he was like, "Oh, this looks really cool." And so like a week or so ago, I was working, and he brought it out of his room, and he was like, "Hey, can we play this?" And I said, "I'm working, but later tonight we'll play it." And he's like, "Okay, cool." And so then all of a sudden, like I walked upstairs, and I saw that like there's all these cardboard things that have been punched, like the remnants in the garbage. And I looked over, and I saw the game was out, and it was punched, and I was like, "Well, what's going on here?" And he said, "Oh, well, I wanted to play it, so I asked my sister to play." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So for the first time ever, my 2 kids sat down and taught themselves the game, and then later that night they taught it to their parents. And it was the first time ever that they had done that. Wow. And I was like, I was very proud of them. It's actually pretty fun. I mean, it's like it's got enough meat on the bone to make parents not want to slip their wrists as they're playing games with their kids, which is what you're always looking for. And it's like it's a cooperative game, but you also score points so you can see who does the best. But I mean, if you want to play that way, but you just like saving eggs and making sure the dinosaurs don't get burned up and stuff like that. So, good stuff. Well, if you're looking for a good game to play with your family, I would strongly suggest that one.
Excellent. Next up is Troll and Dragon, another children's game, where you're rolling your dice and pressing your luck. If you're looking for kids games, check out the Loki booth, location 129. Lookout Games brings us Patchwork Doodle. So basically, patchwork the roll and write, because we need more Tetris Piece roll and write games.
I think the sales of this will prove that to be true.
I think they will too. But you know what you're getting there. So if you like polyominoes and you like roll and writes, here's another one for you for 20.
Wow, that's the only Lookout game for sale? Jeez.
It's the only one listed. That's the only one they sent into the preview for something new. Next up from Looney Labs, Are You a Robot? $2.
Yeah. Must have. Top 10.
I mean,
just
2 to 3 players, $2. It's got to be. It's a social micro deduction game.
Yeah, it's basically a game you can play over a handshake, I think.
Oh, like Win Lose Banana?
Something like that.
It sounds like that.
Win Lose Banana, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jumanji Flux, Marvel Flux. So 2 more Flux games. If you like bad games, go buy you some Flux.
What the flux?
I don't know anybody who plays Flux. I mean,
we're not
somebody
the
must be, right?
Yeah, we're not the audience. But there's people that sit there and love to play the same game that could go 3 hours or 3 seconds. So it's for them. Star Trek Chrono Trek.
Yeah, I played Chrononauts once years ago, and I mean, yeah. But on the other hand, I love Star Trek. So yeah.
Just because you paste a pretty picture on a turd, it doesn't make it smell any less poopy. So
was it? I don't remember it that well. I remember thinking, oh well,
it's fine.
I should have liked this more. I remember thinking after I played it a million years ago. But oh well.
Okay. Next up, Ludanova with Arkham Noir, case number 1, The Witch Cult Murders from 2017.
Oh, yeah. I'd never even heard of it.
Nope. Yeah. No idea.
Moving on. We played this, Lance.
Which one?
Ceylon.
Oh yeah.
It actually had the cool mechanism because you had the card and you would pick which action you wanted. There are 2 actions on the card, and the person playing the card would pick one, and then everybody else got to take the other action on the card.
This was out last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been out.
By the way, I'm a little slow, but the previous game, the Arkham Noir, is from the designer of Expedition Northwest Passage, which is an excellent game. So I just want to say the design pedigree on Arkham Noir has something going for it. But other than that, I couldn't say.
Okay.
And Ceylon is a very clever game with probably top 10 candidates for worst 2-player scaling of all time ever. They so phoned it in. They so clearly didn't care.
A good review.
So this should not say 2.
Yeah, it should not. Well, actually, it's so stupid, though. They could have very easily, with a few tweaks, made it a very good 2-player game. And they clearly just, it's fine. It works as it is. We don't have to bother tightening it up at all.
All right.
I was really disappointed because I did think the core gameplay was really sharp.
Next up, we've got Mantix Games with Hellboy the board game.
And expansions.
And different editions, but it's all Hellboy the board game. So
yeah.
It's a
I don't know. I've heard
game.
a lot of buzz about this game, but I've not played it. Has anyone played it?
Nope.
It would appear to be from first-time designers.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no,
There's
that's
a
not
big
true.
old
No,
box of
Sophie's
stuff.
first time, but the other guy is Mr. Dreadball.
Look at all the crap
and
you
Mr.
get in it.
Bloodball.
I can't believe you didn't back this on Kickstarter or something, Pete. That's a lot of plastic shit.
I'm not a big fan of the Hellboy universe, so it didn't really appeal to me.
There we go. Oh, look, it's got little fire tokens. How cute.
I tried to watch half of the new Hellboy movie last night, and I couldn't finish it.
Oh. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, too.
Yeah,
Cool idea.
Coming
Cool
off of a high
concept.
from Stranger Things 3, and like still couldn't do it.
Maple Games has Dragon Boats of the Four Seas.
It's an enjoyable game.
It's a good game.
It just it's a little puzzly game. Figure out how to move this guy to there, how to get that guy there. So if that's your bag, you'll enjoy it.
That's my bag, baby.
Huh. Yeah. Matago with Bahamas.
I love that cover art.
4 to 8 players.
Yeah,
It makes me so happy it's 4 to 8 because I really that cover art is so good. It's so enticing.
Oh, it's sounds kind of like a similar theme of a cash and guns type of thing, where you criminals splitting up the loot.
Gotcha.
Captain Sonar expansion for those folks, and a expansion for Inish. Next up, Mercury Game has Rail Pass.
This is very good.
Dexterity party game?
It is very, very good. I played it as a 4-player game at, what was it, BGG Con in spring. And, no, 3-player game. But anyway, it's really sharp, fun, real-time, cooperative game. The cover art is not the greatest, but it definitely captures the sense of it's a pick up and deliver where you are physically picking up and delivering things. And you're limited by what you can actually hold in your hands, and you're very quickly trying to put the right stuff into the right train to get it to the city on the other side of the table. But you also have to man the trains with engineers, and the engineers can't go very far away from you. So there's this constant race against the time as you're shuffling stuff. Just silly, laughing, everybody trying their best and failing as they race against the clock. I would imagine its only complaint people would levy against it is it's a bit fragile in that it's one of those games where, I didn't notice that I was cheating because of pressure. And then well, how do we fix this kind of a thing? But it doesn't matter because it's just goofy fun. We really enjoyed it quite a bit. I've got a copy of it here. I'm waiting for Jen to get back so I can film it.
And it's if you've ever been to VGG Con, you saw the guy Tom Green walking around with the ref outfit on. That's he's had that game and he's been working on it for like 2-3 years, and then Mercury finally published it, which is cool. I'm glad for him because Tom's a really nice guy.
I'm super happy for him. He's so passionate. And also one other thing about Rail Pass wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Aldi, because he played it, loved it, and made Mercury Games aware of it and said, you should really cover this. And so he kind of got to jump to the head of the queue.
That's cool.
Big man's blessing and made it happen. Mover and shaker. Aldi. Scott Aldi.
Sure.
This
He doesn't sit back and collect money.
That was good to talk about. I'll move that up to interested. Move it on the list. Next up from Mixlore, Narwhal Free for All.
Meh.
It looks like a ring toss game. It is a ring toss game. Moving on. Pinnacle, which is...
It's really hard to even see what the heck this game's about based off the cover.
Strategic stacking leads to precarious peaks. You take turns stacking wooden blocks of various shapes. It's one of those stack weird shapes dexterity games. It's for $15. Let's see. How did I say this? Company?
Yeah, that description, boy, that could be half a dozen games.
Yeah.
Nothing to actually make them stand out.
Oh, it's Mo Ideas game design. There we go.
Oh my gosh! It never once occurred to me that that's how you say it.
Really?
Yeah. I was sitting there reading. I'm like, oh, it's Mo Ideas.
It's just one of those words that I look at and say, okay, I'm not even going to bother. I just want to make sure I never say this out loud.
Yeah, I was like, Mo Ideas, and then I'm like, I get it. They're being cute.
No ideas.
Tasty Minstrel Games, what does that mean?
It's just they partner up with TMG a lot. As far as like Michael became really good friends with the director of Mo Ideas, and TMG has published a few of their games, like Flow of History was like one of their games.
So these guys are going to be at the booth.
Yep, they've shared the TMG booth many times. So
okay.
So they have Shadow Rivals, which is a game that we don't really know anything about.
I don't know anything about these two games at all.
And Towers of Amharab. Wow, there's a lot to read on that, and I'm not going to read it. So moving on. Mondo Games has the Unmatched game. And
I'm looking forward to this one. This is on my must-have list. All three.
Some of the pre-orders for this through the Gen Con pre-order for Board Game Geek already sold out.
Yeah, that was for Restoration Games. This is a co-joint with Mondo and Restoration.
So it's a fighting game where you take different people from different genres, if you will, and make them fight each other.
It uses the Star Wars Epic Duels engine. So if you like Star Wars Epic Duels and you like sci-fi and pop culture, people mashing together into a fight game, this will be up your alley.
So if you're
familiar with the old school Tannhauser game, that the different colors on the board tell you whether or not you can see and attack the other person.
Same system.
Yeah. So I don't know. I played this at where did I play this at? I played this at Geekway, and I was not impressed, but that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I was just kind of like this. I was like, maybe this gets better if you keep playing it over and over again. You learn all the different abilities and whatever. But I was just like, I don't have the time to like, let me play this 5-6 times over and figure out exactly how I want to, use this particular power in this particular moment. Do I need another
game to let me fight other people?
And which I understand. People are getting excited about it, and I get it, but and it could just very well be it's just not a game for me. So
it could be maybe they didn't play Tannhauser, so they want to play this instead.
Exactly.
Navu Games has an expansion for Stockpile, which is an excellent game.
Stockpile is very good.
Stockpile is lovely. But, Lance, I'm sorry to disappoint you. The last time I ever played Stockpile and ever will play Stockpile, we were playing with some friends, and I remember I had some nasty card, and I put it in the deck, and I'm like, oh, please, just don't let Angela take that one. Just Angela, don't take that one. Oh, my God, Angela. Oh, oh, fuck. Oh, Angela. This is all in my head as I just completely... and I know I'm supposed to. Yeah, she took it. Oh, I can't wait to see her response. And I'm like, oh God, I just ruined her. Oh, she just lost the game because of me. This is terrible. I can never play this game again. Just to give you some more insight into my psyche, Lance.
No, that's fair. I can understand. I understand where you're coming from. This was the game that was on when I got in my purge. I cut Stockpile just because I hadn't played it in so long, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to let this go to somebody else who will actually play it. And whenever I see a Stockpile, I'm like, oh, I'm sad that I got rid of it. But I also know that if I had it, it would just still be sitting on my shelf, not being played. So.
There's an app. Go play it on the toilet.
I wonder if did they on subsequent reprints, did they ever take Trump out? I wonder.
I doubt it.
Why would they?
I don't know. Yeah, if they want to make a statement, potentially.
Well,
maybe
it makes its own statement the way it is.
True.
Next Move Games 5211, which is a hand management and pattern recognition card game.
Yeah, supposedly this is nice, but meh.
I don't know. I'll have to see. I don't know. It sounds like a mess when they say past. North Star Games has Dirty Pig. They take that card game.
We're giving on some of the dregs here.
Moving on. Oink Games has a bunch of stuff. They have Dual Clash Poker, Kobayakawa, which did they already have that? Yeah, 2013. It's just a new version.
Yep.
Money Bags, Mr. Face, Nine Tiles Panic, and Tricks and Phantom. I don't know anything about any of these.
These are all Japanese imports.
Right.
Yeah, I'll say
usually pulls out one or two really good games.
Yeah.
I'll say this about Oink: if you don't own Insider, you're really missing out, because Insider is a fantastic party game, and Fake Artist
about it. It sounds so good.
And Fake Artist is really good too.
And the diving one.
Diving one.
That one's awesome too. So there are a lot of really good games out there, but I don't know anything about these. I'm sure there will be, if one of them rises above, we'll hear about it during the con and we'll know what to go fetch. Chad Roberts probably knows which ones are good.
Well, of course he does.
Chad knows everything.
He collects
right,
Oink games, he has pointed out.
Yeah.
He's only missing 3 of their early ones.
Well, they're little bitty, so you can fit a whole bunch of them.
Which ones are they? I wonder.
I don't know.
So I can buy them and then send him pictures of them.
All right.
And then show me burning them.
Orange Nebula LLC has Vindication.
One of my all-time favorite games. And I did a review of it when it was called something completely different.
Epoch the Awakening.
When it was called a better title, quite frankly. A title that made sense. But well.
Orange Nebula is currently working on a fantastic space-themed game, and that's all I can really say about it. But it is ridiculously good. So,
did anything come of them working with you for the Undead Viking channel?
Yeah. Keep your ears peeled.
I will. Although that sounds pretty painful.
Oh.
Don't peel my ears. I had that.
They are the expansion for it. That they did they're delivering that 3 months early to their backers.
Wow,
that's nice.
A rarity.
It is a rarity.
I should really go say hi to them. They're only like a half an hour away from my house.
And Mark, the guy who runs it, one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet in your life. So,
excuse me. Next up is Osprey Games with Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, a board game of English magic.
Yeah. I'm interested just for the name, and then the fact that Osprey's just like been really knocking it out of the park lately. So
I like magic themed stuff.
I normally wouldn't say this on my channel, but they contacted me about covering this a couple of times, and I read the rules several times, and I really tried to look for anything in it that I would actually like, and I couldn't find anything, so I eventually just turned them down. And I don't remember it was particularly, but I just remember thinking, well, there's just nothing in here that's exciting or special or gets me excited. And since I don't know the novel or the TV series, I took a pass.
Yeah, I mean that's the one thing about it is like it's sometimes like if you haven't watched the IP or read the background material, the thing itself can transcend it.
Yeah.
Like I never watched a single episode of Battlestar Galactica, but I mean I played that board game probably 150 times, and I just love it. And but a lot of times there's just stuff that
I mean, this is from the designers of War of the Ring. I mean,
I love War of the Ring.
Yeah. So
but I have no interest in this game just because I don't know the IP. Theme is a big part of gaming for me. So even though this may be a good game, it's not one I'm interested in.
Yeah. Next up is Undaunted Normandy.
2-player game. It'll never hit my table. So
yeah. Unfortunately for me, most of the time I play games is with a group of 3 or 4, so this would be a tough one.
Well, no, I mean, I play tons of 2-player games, but I play them with my daughter, and if I showed her this board, the front cover of this box, she'd be like,
Yeah,
on the other hand, she likes deck builders.
Yeah, it's a deck building war game.
Yep.
I like World War II.
A dueling deck building game. That's really intriguing.
It's interesting. I've watched the how to play video on it, and it did interest me. I don't know if I decided I didn't need to buy it, but I would play it to see what I think about it.
I would play it once just to try because I do like World War II games.
From the designer of the recently released War Chest, which apparently
everyone likes War Chest.
Everybody loves War Chest, so this is the follow-up to that.
Okay, color me undecided.
All right.
Next up,
that color is gray.
Yeah,
it is gray.
Yes.
Pandasaurus Games has Dead Man's Cabal, which we discussed.
That was at Origins, yeah.
And we decided we didn't like the look of it, and so we moved on. So we're moving on again. They also have Machi Koro Legacy. So if you want to change a boring game, you can do so.
Well, okay, I'll say this.
Last your choices.
Last year at Board Game Geek, I hate saying this, but I mean, so I got asked by one of the principal developers of the game if I would be willing to play through the Legacy, through it, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. Let's do this. And so I sat down and I played through.
There at the show.
Yeah, I played through and it was still being developed. So I mean, what I played wasn't necessarily like the finished product. So I can't say that. But I played through 5 sessions of it. The people I played with were amazing. I enjoyed it a great deal. As far as the people were, they were very engaging. But the next day, I bowed out. I was just like, I appreciate I was like, will I screw things up for you if I don't finish it off? And thankfully the developer was like, hey, I understand if it's not your thing. I don't want to make you play if you're not having fun. And I was just like, all right. And then I went and played games I wanted to play. And it wasn't, I can see where people that are going to really like it. And and so I don't take anything away from it. I think it'll sell like gangbusters.
Oh, totally.
But and there was some stuff going on that was kind of neat, as far as, and I don't want to give anything away, so I'm not going to say anything, spoilers. But so there definitely was. It hits the bells and whistles of the Legacy thing, of open up that box and okay, change this on everybody's board, and things like that, and then so.
When you say it didn't work for you, is it because Machi Koro itself is not particularly interesting to you?
It was one of those things where it was like I didn't. The fact that with Machi Koro, when I played Machi Koro, always still felt like I was just kind of having the game just being played in front of me, which is what I always kind of felt like to me. Mm-hmm. So and that just existed in this, but with a Legacy aspect. And so once again, it just maybe wasn't meant for me, right? So it's fine. And just and like I said, nobody's gonna listen to what I had to say and like, oh, I'm totally gonna buy this. And then they hear me and they're like, oh, I guess I'm not. It's just it'll sell a bajillion copies and good for them.
I'm not
$50 for Machi Koro. Forget that.
Yeah. But I will not be purchasing a copy.
Next up is Mental Blocks, a cooperative game with a hidden traitor and buildable blocks.
Why just
oversized?
Is it because we have to have just whatever? Moving on.
I don't know. I have to see it. So.
It was the trapezoid all along.
See, that was clever. I'll give you credit. That was funny.
They have Pastali, a route network building tile placement abstract strategy puzzle game. There are videos of this out there. The gameplay looks just like that cover when you play it, and it turned me off. It kind of made me sick to my stomach. It was just hard to look at. And I'm not trying to be mean, but that's literally what it did. I lost all interest in it. It was just too noisy. Moving on to parallel games. They have City of the Big Shoulders, and
this is fantastic. I will say this. I was lucky enough. I met the designer of this 3 years ago at Origins. I sat down and played a game of it. This is worker placement 18xx and stocks and just dividends and thinky McThinkington.
I remember you going to play this.
Yeah, it's a big heavy brute, right?
Yeah, it's huge. It's and it's also I cannot wait to have my copy of this.
What you're saying is
it's a shame you're not picking any games up at Gen Con.
Oh, this one will hit the table for me.
What he's saying is,
twice and you'll be done.
Next time he wants to complain about the lack of big, heavy games anymore.
No, well, look, how many games have we gone through, and how many times have we had a big, heavy game in this list? You know, how many games are being released?
Second time I've made that joke.
So there you go.
There you go.
Very good. So if you want something
If they're big, heavy
big
games, it's not like you need 50 of them every year. If I bury nature, you only need a couple.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, Barry, you just come in here to take a shit in my Cheerios? Is that? Okay, well, I love you too.
We've got one more game before we let Richard carry on for about 3.5 hours. So we're next up is Sky Magic, which there's no image. It's a dice rolling children's game. And so now I turn over the floor to Mr. Ham for Black Angel.
Afternoon
Why
delight.
have I heard so much about Black Angel?
All right, Richard, go ahead. Start
Black
gushing.
Angel is a very good game. Next. Moving on.
This is like one of the rare I think I have 3 must-haves, and this is one of them. So
Yep.
So give me because I'm not sure what the hype is about this. For $80, tell me what is the 30-second elevator pitch on this game.
It's not for you, Pete.
Pete has surprised himself and everybody else. Every time he sits down to a really great Euro, he comes back saying, wow, maybe I really like Euros. And I do believe this would be one of them. This is the sequel to what is widely regarded as one of the greatest modern Euros of all time, Trois.
I believe it's Troyes.
Or Troyes, if you prefer.
Or Troyes.
Philistines among us. And at its heart, it's a dice drafting, dice worker placement game, but it is a big, deep, rich game set in far space as we're trying to ensure a mothership makes it to a new planet so we can recolonize because humanity's been wiped out. That's the theme. But the main thing that it has going for it is the level of opportunities that are created by what your opponents do and what you do that creates opportunities for them. Everybody's very synergistically working together. If somebody goes off to and launches a mission to a nearby planet, that will draw the ire of the Reavers or Reapers, the scary space aliens who will come and try to destroy the ship, which means, oh, I knew you were going to do that. So now I can actually take advantage of trying to, protect the ship, because if nobody does, it becomes difficult to get anything done. And somebody else could repair the ship. Everybody has a million different things that could go on, but it's a very deep and rich experience. And it's got basically 3 separate games in one. There's this kind of, because we're all artificial intelligences, we're programming our own brains with putting new subroutines in with this kind of slide puzzle thing that's really could be a whole game by itself. And then it's also got the space mission thing, which has us, spending resources to travel around from planet to planet and try not to get left behind from the Black Angel, our mothership that keeps going forward. That could be a whole game in of itself, because it was called Miscellaneous. During the development of this, that portion of the game was so good, they made a standalone, which made my top 10 of the year. But then driving everything is the dice-driven, dice-drafting worker placement game. And a lot of people are surprised I like it because they think it's one of the meaner, more cutthroat Euros out there. Because after everybody rolls their dice and, yes, I got the exact die I need, and I'm just waiting for my turn so I could use it, other players can buy my dice from me, thereby preventing me from doing what I wanted to do. And so that's the crux of the interaction between players, because everybody's dice is available if you can pay the price.
So let me ask you then. You sound like a lot of this has to do with player interaction, but it says it's 1 to 4 players. So how is this game good at 1 player if you're not having interaction with other people?
The solo game is actually very good. It implements a dummy player, and it's kind of becoming the standard Otama thing where there's a deck of cards, and after you take your turn, he's going to take his turn. He draws a card. Yeah. And it says, okay, if he was a human player, he would try to do this. If he can't do this thing, he'll do this other thing. And if he can't do either of these things, he'll just score 3 points. And you're trying to beat him, in terms of points. But, he does a good job of gobbling up resources and blocking spaces. It's weird. I actually have played it now 6 times solo because Jen's not here. So I only have myself to play it with. And it's amazing how he always seems to be kind of like a human being and grab the thing just that I was about to grab. But he gets there 1 turn, even though I know it's completely random. But it works really well as a solo.
I think this is one of Chad Roberts' top games, as well as all of his top games from the show. So I know they both are looking forward to this. And Richard's got literally about 2 hours and 10 minutes worth of video on this posted.
It was pretty long. It was one of those rare times where I'm just enjoying myself. I just got to keep going.
Color me gray on this one, then. I'll have to take a look at it in person.
I think it's going to be very much in demand, and I think it's being sold in the Asmodee booth.
Yep.
Is what I've been told. So 1829. I'd have to go look at the map to see where that is. So is that it? Is that Asmodee? So. Pegasus Spiele comes up next with Crown of Imara, which came out of Essen last year, but I guess it's in the US.
It was my number 11 best game of the year.
I played this last year, and it's an enjoyable game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's great, but it's enjoyable.
I'll just give it a big meh.
Yeah. It was enjoyable, but it wasn't great. I didn't buy it, and I could have. Next up is Nobjects. It's a dice and card game. You have to draw things for other people to guess, but you draw with your fingers on the table instead of with a pencil and paper and stuff. So you're trying to recognize people basically skywriting. You can't see me do that.
Well, that is not a good skill to engender in people.
Yeah.
Why does this have to exist?
Skywriting while I'm bored out of my mind talking to them. Oh my gosh. STFU! Exclamation!
Next up is
I should have said that out loud.
Tricky Druids, which is a 2 to 4 player game. You spend all day collecting ingredients for your potions, but they're so super nice they give each other gifts all the time.
So here's something I'm hearing us just talk about these games as we go through. That I mean, these games probably don't suck. You know, like they went through some sort of process to be published, right? They talked to somebody, they demoed it, they played it, and then somebody along the line was like, oh, okay, let's this game's decent, this game's fun, blah 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 blah. We'll move forward. It's kind of like how when you like in the Steam sale, you'll go and you look at all the games, all the video games that come out, and you're like, good Lord, all these games being developed and created and being put out there and everything like that. You're just in there, you're looking at all that, and I'm like, I always sit there and wonder, we just have so many games, games that are just come and go and vanish and just like this, Tricky Druids. I mean, somebody put a lot of work into that. Somebody worked really hard making that game.
And they only got 9 thumbs in the preview for their work.
I think it's just a matter of everyone's desensitized to games now because there's just such a gluttony of games in the market. There's so many new games coming out that you just zone out at times because your mind is overwhelmed with all of the games and you can't play them all. You can't buy them all. So if it doesn't just immediately grab you on first look, it's And it doesn't mean the game's bad. It just means this one didn't capture me right off the bat. So I'm not going to waste time on it because there's 550 more titles to look through.
Yeah.
Well, it is all about that opening sentence.
It is. I mean, I walk in my local game store and I look down the shelf, and if something doesn't immediately grab me, I just keep walking. I don't stop and pick every box up and look at it anymore. It has got to grab me instantly, or else I'm not wasting my time because there's just too many games for me to spend.
Well, this game is a perfect example. It could be really great. And there's one thing that stands out from this very short, 3-sentence description they have. The fact that there's a big focus on players giving gifts to each other during play. I'm like, okay, I'm interested in that. That's not something I do a lot. I'd be curious to know, what does that mean in terms of gameplay? So they kind of get me with that opening sentence. And then they spend the remainder of this hardly mentioning it at all. And instead talking about how I can brew potions. And they're like, oh God, how many games do I need to brew potions in? Tell me about make your entire description about why this cool thing you do that separates you from everybody else is cool. But they just kind of mention it as an afterthought.
The designer of Tricky Druids is crying right now. He's watching this. He's just
Thanks, Richard. You ruined him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm interested. I mean, that opening sentence, but this is more a complaint to whoever is responsible for writing their ad copy.
Well, this is probably really one of those games that it comes out at Essen where there's tons of family walking around and people say, oh, this looks cool, and they buy that, and they bring it to the U.S., and we go,
He's right, though. I mean, nothing on this box cover, nothing in the description, save the gift idea, screams, "Oh my god, check me out!" And that's the problem. It's okay. It's got a cool mechanism that may be cool, but the rest of the game is just kind of okay. Move on. It's got to be great.
I look at this and think it's more for kids.
Games just these days have to be great, or they're a pass.
It's not like games; it's entertainment in general. Movies, music, TV.
Yeah.
Next up.
Yeah. Okay.
Next up is Undo. There's 3 games in this Undo series at Gen Con. And Undo, somebody dies and you go back in history to try to change it. It's Quantum Leap, the game.
It's basically a choose your own adventure book in board game form.
Okay.
I've heard mixed. It sounds cool, but I've heard mixed.
Well, and then I'm sitting there and it's just like, okay.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I whenever I saw this, was like, oh, something happened, so we're going to go back in time and try to change it. No, so it's the Captain Janeway game.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on.
I think these will be somewhat popular, though. So
I imagine they're pretty good, and it's just people are going in because word has spread that these are basically time stories meets an escape room. Yeah. And then people play it and they're like, no, this is literally a choose your own adventure. It's not even a game. It's a choose your own adventure book in board game form, in card form.
Lance can probably talk to the next one, Glorantha, the Gods of War, English first edition.
Yeah, I mean, I wanna, I just because I'm dumb, I want all of this stuff, just because.
Good luck. It's about $700 worth.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get it sent to me prior to Gen Con. I reached out to Sandy, and he's gonna see what he can do. So.
I mean, that's just a bunch of big old monsters.
Well, it's a big old giant map with a bunch of big old giant monsters beating the crap out of each other. I mean, this game just basically says, this was the game for you. Why didn't you? Yeah, why didn't you back this, you fool? Because of course I was like, I don't want it. And then I was like, I do want it. Damn it. But anyway.
All right, the next up is Planet Apocalypse. I don't know anything about it.
That goes for all of us.
All right. It's got big miniatures too, because I see them in the video here.
I've already chosen my giant miniatures game that I want.
And then we've got Startropolis, which is probably a Star giant miniatures game, but I'm not sure.
No, it's not. It's a 3D communal space station building game. It's basically Carcassonne mechanisms, but with 3D plugging together space station modules.
Well, that looks like fun on the table.
Yep.
I don't know if it's any good, but it looks like
it's
fun
neat.
On the table.
It's really light. It's like probably lighter than Carcassonne light, and actually a bit more cutthroat than Carcassonne with hate drafting and whatnot. But it was neat, and it'd be a great family game. Get the whole family around the table and build a space station. The components are neat. It's fun, simple, light game.
All right. Next up, the Tooth Fairy game.
This is their first ever kids game.
Does it have giant miniatures where you're yanking teeth out of somebody?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Are you yanking teeth out of a giant miniature? There's no images, so I have no idea what it's about.
The Tooth Fairy comes out with fangs.
Yeah. 4 games in one, complete with 125 plastic teeth in 5 colors. There you go. You do have a bunch of teeth. Next up, U-Boat, which is delivered to backers and is for sale, but it's been out there for a minute. Did you play yours yet?
I played mine.
Did you play yours?
Really?
I played it solo. I enjoyed it, but it was exactly what I thought it would be. I often wonder how often I'll play though.
I think this will be a game I may play once or twice a year for the novelty of it. But yeah, I'm with Lance. It's not a bad game. It's what I thought it would be, but it's not going to be a regular on the rotation.
And ultimately, I'm a little bit possibly disappointed. Just because I think I blazed it up to being something a lot better. And
can live up to your imagination or what?
Yep.
Yeah, which is not necessarily its fault, but yeah, whatever.
Next up is Plaid Hat Games with Abomination, the Heir of Frankenstein.
Just why 2-hour, $60 game about dice rolling and you know what I mean.
Building up Frankenstein.
And let's
It's a worker placement game.
and I'm like, okay, looking at this game, right? And am I the crazy one who just thinks that this cover art's just kind of meh at best?
No, you're not crazy.
I mean, it's just all over the place. So it's like, okay, so this is somebody who's making it, and then there's this weird, creepy vampire ghoul thing in the background, and apparently we have like, is that the window or is that TV screens? And is that a vampire in a coffin? I mean, I don't know anything by looking at this cover, and then I went and I looked at the board, and I was like, what do you want for the board? Make it really gray. Okay, we can do that. Okay, great. You know, and just like, this doesn't look interesting at all. Moving on.
Moving on. Quirky Circuits.
Ugh.
I'm very excited about this.
Are you?
I like cooperative games. I like action programming games. I like storybook games. Everything I like about this.
But you don't like Plaid Hat games.
And hopefully it'll be a Plaid Hat game I finally enjoy. Fingers crossed.
You haven't liked a single Plaid Hat game? Really?
I don't think so.
It looks like a game that's geared towards kids because it's 15 to 30 minutes, 7+. But at $50, it's got a price point.
No, it's a gamer's action programming game, I believe.
Yeah, it looks kid friendly, but at that price point, it seems high for a kids game. So.
Yeah, it's a programming game. Rodney just put up a video on it today, I think, for how to play. I don't know. We'd have to see. I don't have it interested on my list.
I take it back, Lance. I liked Raxon.
Oh, yes, that one.
Yep.
I either just gave that away or I'm giving it away. I don't remember which. Super Punch Fighters already out in stores. Moving on. Century New World. It's already out in new stores, assholes. Because I don't have
you got your copy yet?
No, then they didn't even reply to my email I sent during last week because they're on vacation, and so I'm going to get it about 2 weeks after Gen Con. Bunch of bullshit.
No,
freaking Scott Alden texted me a picture tonight. He was at Madness Games and Comics. Text me a picture of a shelf full of the shit from the store. And I just sent him emoji middle fingers back.
Yeah, I thought about doing that. I went in my game store a couple days ago, and they had 6 of them sitting right on the front shelf.
And as an FU to everybody that bought the previous game, here's your Gollum edition that they told you weren't going to get. So there's the FU to all those people. So
I mean, I'm glad because I like the Gollum art better.
Oh, the Gollum. I think the Gollum. I don't know. The components are nicer in it, but I like the art in Century better.
Well, you're wrong, but moving on.
I just like the other art better. Just me.
Yeah, doesn't mean you're still wrong. I mean,
not wrong. I like my boring Euro art versus the silly monsters. Portal Dragon has Planetoid, a memory tile placement game.
Memory, not interested.
Yeah.
Does anybody like memory games? Anybody?
Children?
No.
I can remember as a kid taking a deck of cards and playing memory by myself, like a lot. Like just putting all 52 cards out and then just trying to match them up. Like,
I'm looking for the good in the pictures here, and this just makes me want to go to sleep.
Yeah,
it looks like sprues.
I was like mildly interested in that, and I looked at it, and I was like, I can't tell anything that's going on here. So I was like, moving on.
That's what happens when you have generic art and generic things. Next up, Portal Games, Imperial Settlers, Empires of the North.
So is this an expansion?
No, it is a standalone game. It's got a couple new things. It's got 6 factions in it. It eliminates the common deck from Imperial Settlers and also puts out some basically action selection spaces. You've got a little 5-space wheel, and you've got a couple of action pawns. And by default, you can take 2 actions on there, but you also have the ability to play cards from your hands to build on your turn. You have cards that will let you play them based off of being triggered by other actions you've done. So on the little wheel, you can sail because you've got the Vikings. You want to sail, and there's islands to go out and either pillage or conquest. Pillage, you just strip them of resources. Conquest, you take them and add them to your tableau. When you sail, you may have a card that says sail to play. So you put your little token on the sail action, and then you immediately then play that card, then you take your sail action. So it's a way to help build your empire. And there's no set layout like Imperial Settlers on how you put your cards out. You just put them out there. Each card's worth a point plus the points you get during the game, plus resources or points. And each of the 6 factions has a different theme, and they feel very different in how they play to me. So I tried all 6 factions out since I got the game, and I enjoy it. I don't know if I like it better than Imperial Settlers, but there's definitely room for both on my shelf, and it shares a lot of things in common with Imperial Settlers. It's very much a direct spinoff. So there you go. That's my spiel on Empires of the North, since I've already played it.
This is a game I might pick up at some point, but whatever.
Yeah, it's a neat little game. Have you played it, Richard?
No.
Wow.
They sent me Rolling Right, but they didn't send me this.
Yeah. And next up is Roll and Write, which I believe is already out in stores. And so I'm going to move on for that. It's okay. And I'll leave it at that. And then
I have actually heard, I know a couple people who they say it's not really good.
It is very cool as a solo game. And the multiplayer implementation is, by comparison to the solo game, shockingly bad. Or just like really like, you know how some games they have a tutorial and you just play through it right. But it's nowhere near the full game. It's like the multiplayer game is the tutorial for the solo game, because there's just so much that makes the game cool is just not there. But when you play multiplayer, that's the only way you can play it. And everybody says, why can't we take these solo assets and apply them to a multiplayer game? And Ignacy and company have now, post the release of this, put out, here's special variant rules so you can use the cool solo stuff in multiplayer and make the multiplayer as good as the solo. And we're all just left scratching our heads. Why didn't it come like this? Yeah. It's insane.
I think you hit it on the head. I'm not going to argue with anything you said there. The presentation and the art is gorgeous, just like the Imperial Settlers stuff. It's very thematic. It looks cool. But there's a lot of way better Roll and Writes out there.
Well, yeah, I mean, out of the box, Rolled West kicks its butt. But they have only themselves to blame, because there's some really cool stuff in the box.
Yeah.
Although the other problem with it is, what's so cool about the solo game is every sheet on the pad of paper, because it's a roll and write, is unique. So I forget what it is. I think there are 48 sheets. And once you've played them all, I'm kind of done, because it's a roll and write. And I've written over all the unique things. So
you can get more pads.
You can then go buy a replacement pad for an additional $5.
Since I pre-ordered it, they sent me 2 of the solo pads.
Well,
I was whining. Actually, I tweeted out that part of me wants to laminate every one of these sheets in the solo deck. And Ignacy replies and says, "Are you actually going to play the game 60 times to where you need new sheets?" And I'm like, no.
Sheepish emoji.
Yeah, no, probably not. You shut your mouth with your logic. An expansion for Monolith Arena. I've never played Monolith Arena. If you like it, there's an expansion. Moving on, we have Pressman Toy Corp with May Cause Side Effects, a party game with a drug bottle on it. Which I've got it not interested, but since I work in pharmaceuticals,
I was going to say,
I may go look at it.
You're required.
Well, I've got 2 pharmaceutical-based board games sitting on my damn shelf that I haven't even played yet.
But this one comes in a pill bottle.
Yeah, I know. But I've got like Medical Frontiers and then the Pocket Pharma, and I haven't even played either one of those.
I think Pocket Pharma comes in a pill bottle too, doesn't it?
No, it's in a little box. And then I've got Jehovah's little Bad Medicine or whatever it's called.
Oh, that's the one I was thinking of. Bad Medicine, yeah.
Yeah.
That one comes in a bottle.
It comes in a box that has a bottle on the cover, I think.
All right. Well, they all fail because this one comes in a bottle.
Yeah.
Throw them all away and get this one.
Yeah, it's probably horrible. But I may go look at it just for fun. Project Ray Gun has Court of the Dead, Mourner's Call.
This is one of those super late Kickstarters that the backers are. If you go and read the comments, they're all like, so we still don't have our copies, but you're going to sell copies at Gen Con. Please go die in a fire.
It's pretty. It's got neat miniatures. I don't care about it, so I'm moving on. Queen Games has Copenhagen and Copenhagen Deluxe Edition.
Lovely little
some expansions. But they're doing a roll and write, which I've heard is better. So
which one?
The Copenhagen roll and write that's on Kickstarter now.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to try it because Copenhagen itself is fantastic. It really one of the better Tetris in board game form games.
Next up is the expansion for Luxor, followed by 2 expansions for Merlin.
Very exciting.
Which I was disappointed with Merlin, but you like
You're
it.
Wrong. I believe. I think Lance definitively established that earlier, and I will have to agree with him.
Yes,
colleague, in that you are wrong.
Did you like Merlin, Lance?
I didn't mind it, but I didn't have any reason.
Well, that's
to
high praise for a Feld game coming from Lance.
Yeah, well, that's not true. There's
True.
Felds I like. You put Macau in front of me, I'll play that all day long.
I thought Merlin was fine. It's just not in my top 10 Felds of the 8 Felds I own. So, it's better than Amerigo. I'll give it that.
Oh, you continue to be wrong.
I don't know. Amerigo's kind of cool. I just got bored with Amerigo. Amerigo does have polyominoes, so I may have to retract that statement.
There you go.
I was just pissed because my cube tower didn't seem to work very well. Whatever. Moving on to Ravensburger, Catlantis, which looking at the cover of that just makes me want to move on to the Disney villainous Evil Comes Prepared. They'll sell a pile.
This looks cool.
Yeah.
I actually want this. I like villains.
Yeah, they'll pile. They'll sell a ton of those.
They'll sell a ton of it, but I just want Scar and could care less about the other 2 characters.
Yeah, Scar's the one I want on this one as well.
Also, Friends of a Feather, a set collection children's game, followed by Greetings from Grandville, which is a children's racing.
Where are these games coming from? I just
next up is Horrified.
now I am strangely interested in this. I don't know
I am
why.
too. I have it marked as interested.
What's it about?
You have to defeat monsters like classic movie monster things.
Yep.
Like the Invisible Man or in the Black Lagoon or whatever.
It's campy.
But I thought that camp one, that Friday the 13th was going to be, whatever the hell it was.
So I'm mildly interested, but this might be just a wait and buy it in stores. You know,
I'm sure you can get it
kind of thing.
But at Gen Con, you can get some kind of special freebies, I believe.
Oh, I'm sure they're amazing.
There's a promo of some sort because they also have Jaws with the special Orca promo that you didn't get when you already bought it at Target, like the 3 of us.
What? Yeah. What's the promo?
It's an Orca boat that says Orca on the butt.
It's the Orca meeple that it's the same meeple in the game except it's an Orca on the back like the boat did.
What's that, Richard?
I believe weren't you just dismissing the idea of promos like 30 seconds ago?
Well, I made crap on them, but it was cool, and I want it because I have the game. Lance.
What the Sam Hill?
This Jaws game is actually everything that Barry was just mentioning the last Friday game, the Friday the 13th game. This is what that game should have been. Jaws fixes the broken-ass game that was last Friday. Jaws is very well done, I think.
It is.
For a
hidden
movement game.
I'm very proud of it.
Has anybody played it like 2-player?
No.
2-player, you would play it the same as multiplayer. It's just one person plays all 3 people.
Yep.
Okay.
On one side. It's just a head-to-head game in that case.
Right.
But the problem with last Friday was you had 3 acts. The first act, he's chasing the campers. The second act, the campers chase him. The third act, he kills the campers. The problem was there was no reason for the murderer to not just suicide on a camper at the immediate start of the second round.
Yeah.
There was literally no reason not to.
Oh yeah, it
So
got boring.
was
It was
broken.
just fucking boring.
Yeah,
It
you're
was,
right.
you know,
That's
it's-
true as well. But Jaws fixes it, and it has cool components. It fits into the movie. It's already out in Target, so I don't know.
Is
why we're still
Jaws
talking
from
about
the
it.
same designers? Is it the same design system?
It's the design team, not a. It's from the same
Prospero.
design team.
Okay.
And they actually have a commercial video out there on their website that's really funny. So it's an amusing little video.
Good game items.
It's from
Yeah,
the same
it's still
designer.
Lincoln and them play that.
Oh, hi.
We
What's up?
did.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, what's
Hey,
happening?
we can start now.
Oh, look
We
who
can start
decided
now.
to actually.
Who showed up late? Let's see.
We tried. We tried.
We had dinner late.
Had a late dinner.
We understand you like
You don't need to eat.
better than us. It's
Jim
fine.
snuck in, and there's Lincoln with Aldi. We got celebrities.
I know.
now.
I'm
Yeah, Prospero Hall does
I
the
live
job.
streamed on last night on the West Coast. I'm live streaming tonight in Central United States. I'll be on the East Coast tomorrow. Live.
All right. He's
You
here all week.
Are we?
folks.
Are
No.
you?
No, he's not at the East Coast till next week. We were just talking about Jaws and the fact that they have a promo that we didn't
What?
get when we bought it.
What promo?
Yeah, it's an orca meeple that says orca on the butt.
Yeah, I'm a little
Darn.
mad about that.
Oh my
I
god.
want that orca meat.
Yeah, it was in the Gen Con mailer today that Gen Con sent out.
So what do you have to go get the game now?
You gotta go buy the game to get the.
Wait, I already
orca
bought the
meeple.
game.
Me too.
I know. See, that's the thing.
Take
There's
I
your
a
bought the
bunch
game
of
like
games.
3 times.
Oh, I think you know somebody that they'll give them to. Yeah.
We well, Prospero Hall. Yeah, they're friends of the geek. So
So Aldi, had it.
Give me one too, then.
all right, I'll get a hand.
Aldi, we
Well,
talked about Black Angel already, and I
Yeah.
said that was one of your top games. Of the
I
show.
have to get at least 3 copies of it. How much is that going to set me back?
That's going to set you back $240, sir.
Approximately one millionth of your value.
Approximately 1 second worth of bandwidth
time.
of a geek.
No, that's not true. Cool. Well, I watched your thing, Rado. Man, that's nicely done.
Oh, thank you.
The 2 hours and 10 minutes of
That must have been an epic. You seemed, yeah. Were you exhausted after that, or did you like?
No, I was energized. I
I'm
mean,
ready for more.
I hadn't intended to go that long. I just
That's,
wanted to keep going.
I'm excited for it.
all right, next
I'm
up,
not sure. Trois might be better still.
It's hard to beat Trois.
Well, it's.
I mean, you're talking about like,
Before I
yeah.
dwell on it, one of the things I mentioned is the lack of like really cool far out objective cards that Trois has. Trois has just some absolutely insane, just off the wall stuff, and
Could be
and
expansion.
Black Angel really kind of just plays it straight. I mean, all the objective cards are variations of get stuff to convert it into other stuff things,
Right.
and it's fine. There's
It
nothing
could,
bad
it
about it
could
at
be
all.
expansion material, right?
I'll
Yeah.
say something
Well,
negative about
Sebastian actually
Black
said
Angel.
that when he posted to the video that they have lots of ideas. They've got lots of crazy off the wall stuff. They just he said it in kind of a weird broken French way, so I wasn't quite sure what he meant. Never mind.
I've got something
What are you
negative
talking
on
about
Black
there?
Angel. It looks
What's
like
that?
somebody melted a box of crayons across the board.
It's so photogenic though. Like,
Dude,
when
it's so
it's-
busy it bugs
when
me.
it's in the hot games room, that's probably one of those games we'll have to leave set up permanently.
Oh, there's a good chance of it, but it's hard for me to look at. It really is. Like, I wouldn't have looked twice at the game had you not been giving it so much praise because of that presentation.
Oh, I mean, I think the presentation is awesome. It looks so much cooler and more interesting than pretty much any other space game, period. I mean, you put it next to Star Realms, forget about it. Star Realms, that is, specifically.
Mhm.
I'm going to go way back here. I told about you being a dick earlier, Scott.
We need to move forward.
What do I do?
You sent me a picture of that damn game on the shelf.
Oh, the pre-order
Oh,
game?
the picture. Yeah.
I'm going back here because
What can you do? I mean, it's in stores.
it's so
I
good.
believe the answer to your question is what can you do? The answer would be rub salt in Keith's wounds.
Yeah,
He set himself up
exactly
for
what he
it, though.
did. I see how he is. That's all right. Okay, we're on to King Me, a 2-player game from Ravensburger.
Wow. Oh, okay.
It-
After
it-
the crown's control.
I'm guessing checkers.
I don't know.
Did they just rename Checkers?
Another Prospero Hall game.
Checkers is ancient. All right.
It's Prospero Hall again.
Yeah, I mean, no, they're all over this. Whoever the mysterious
Next up is
Prospero Hall is.
Red Peak.
That's
It's the Funko company now.
yeah, it was Forest Pruzan.
Forest Pruzan.
It's basically like a writer's room. I think they spitball ideas together and then they have somebody go work on it. It's a really interesting process.
Are they all full-time employees of Ravensburger?
Yeah, no, they're
Funko.
They're now Funko, but they were their own company. Prospero,
I see.
Forest Pruzan, and Prospero Hall is the designer name whenever they need a designer name.
Oh, okay.
But basically now that because they're Funko, they are going. I think Prospero Hall is just the design name on everything.
All right.
I don't know. Red Peak is some kind of basic.
That's the cooperative game.
It's another Runaway from Home.
I'm stunned it's coming out in English. I didn't think it was going to come in English. Who's the designer on it? Carlo Rossi or something?
Yep.
Dang, Lincoln's dropping knowledge on us.
Yeah.
Going to Nuremberg, you get to see all of the
Yeah, I
stuff
saw this in
before-
January.
Yeah.
It looked interesting. I mean, that was the thing last night. Like 90% of the games I commented, I'm like, oh yeah, I saw this one. Oh yeah, I remember that one. It's weird now. I mean, it used to be lots of surprises at these events, and now this in Cannes, I see a lot of the games because I saw Black Angel. That's where Eric got the prototype copy that he's had for the last 6 months.
Next up is Rebel. 2 expansions for Cage.
Bless you.
Those are expansions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up, Red Raven Games with the Ancient World 2nd Edition.
I like Ancient World 1, first edition.
This one broke my heart.
Whoever's scrolling that is not interested.
What's that? That's me.
Any of you guys play the first one?
Yeah, the first one was particularly mean, and supposedly this one really ratchets that back quite a bit, but when I played it, I did not find that to be the case.
Yeah, it's basically worker placement where you just cut people out of the spot.
Yeah. Well, now you can't permanently cut people out if you go there. It's the Bora Bora system where it's dice worker placement, and if I go there with a high value die, screw you, you can't go there anymore. I could have used a low value die, but no, I'm going to use a high value die just to screw you because yay, because that's fun in games. And now they took that out, and instead, if I go someplace ahead of you with a high value die, and I do it because I know you want to go there, you now just have to pay money to go. So you can still go, but I can use this. If anything, you're more inclined to do it now because, now instead of just totally ruining you, I'll just bleed you dry. So you never have enough money to get anything done that you want to get done. So I was bummed.
Should it just be like a water deep system then, where you just take the spot and that's it? Or I don't know. It's hard to
they've introduced a wild card resource that you can use for a lot of stuff to make up for it. I mean, it's a great game. It's really good. The original one was good. And if anything, this one's better. But I was just bummed. Everybody said, "Oh, yay, it's going to be Care Bear friendly," and it's totally not.
All right. Next up is Renegade with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, no joke.
Starting with Artsy by J. Alex
Nothing.
Kevern.
Yes. J. Alex Kevern is probably one of my favorite new designers. I love his puzzly stuff, so I'm very excited about this solely because of his name.
Have you played it?
I have it, but my wife is gone for a month, so I have not played it. I'm very sad.
I've played it.
Always an excuse with you, Rado.
You're building out an art gallery in this. Yep. I'm going to go look at a picture of it because we don't have anything in there there's not much in the way of anything in the images.
I don't think the art matches the cover.
It looks kind of
No, I believe all the art in the game is like real famous artwork.
Yeah, it's little bitty tiles.
Whoever took those pictures,
the pictures are terrible.
These pictures are just
the focus is on the wrong stuff.
Yeah, the wrong syllable.
This website, man. This guy that put this in here.
Why don't publishers take more pictures?
I don't know. Then next up, I've seen people talking about this game a bunch. It's from 2017, though.
Yeah, but it was self-published back then. I mean, we're going to probably do it on game night soon.
I've heard a lot about this, actually.
Yeah,
it's
everybody's
I've
excited.
got like 16 expansions for it on here.
What was the Kickstarter, too, right? Like, there was a million things, like add-ons and stuff. I don't have my Kickstarter yet.
Has anybody played it? Is it
no
good?
packages?
No. A guy I met in LA has played it, and he wants to teach it, so we're gonna do it on the show. It'll be fun.
Hey, it
I mean, I
looks
think
nice.
it's based on that where you're setting up a tavern or shop for fantasy adventurers to come buy shit from you.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, that's what it is.
And I'm guessing lots of powers, lots of abilities, lots of
Chrome
Chrome
stuff.
Well, maybe with the expansion. I really don't know.
But there's a lot. If you're interested, there is a ton of content at Gen Con. Because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 expansions for it. Next up, Bubble Tea, which I saw out in stores already. So I'm moving on.
I saw it in the store tonight. I almost grabbed it. It's like it's so wee.
Yeah,
it's a tiny
pretty
little
small box. It's
little
about that
shaker.
Next up, Clank
Clank.
Expeditions Temple of the Ape Lords. So the new Clank expansion board. Or parts.
You pre-ordered it, it looks like.
Yeah. Yep. You know what I've been buying.
Your pre-orders are betraying you. They're like, I don't care about Clank.
I don't care. Yep.
Clank's still great.
I pre-ordered the game. So I like Clank. I think Clank is cool. Then they have this Acquisitions Incorporated Upper Management Pack, which is also available in stores now. So I'm moving on.
Which, by the way, this has confused me because I thought it was the Legacy thing. But
it's not. It's
before the Legacy game.
It is before the Legacy. What they put out is it's got some cards and it's got miniatures, and you can use the miniatures to play Clank. And they just put it out as a standalone thing that you can use with all your other Clank stuff until the Legacy comes out.
So it's the characters from
the Acquisitions Incorporated. Yep. So
if you like the Penny Arcade.
Yes. So it's very confusing. I flat out asked on Twitter. I'm like, what the hell's going on with this?
Well, when does the Legacy game come out?
I don't know.
Unannounced.
If I were to lay money on it, my guess would be PAX Unplugged.
Yeah.
Why?
You're right.
Yes.
It's on PAX team, right? Like
because it's Penny Arcade, which is PAX. So
of course. Yes, that must be. Must be that.
That's my prediction, even though I haven't seen an announcement. It just makes sense.
No, you're it must be.
Next up,
so let it be done.
Hex Roller. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. I played it.
Is it good?
It's good, yeah.
You say everything's good, so ask somebody else.
Come ask me.
I'm just being true.
It's a puzzle, right? Like it's got a lot of math in it, but in a good way. It's not super hard. It's got some interesting stuff. You're trying to connect hexes together. You're trying to fill all the hexes. Of course, you can't do everything, right? It's one of those kind of deals.
And it's one of the 47 rolling rights coming out of Gen Con.
And it's solid. It's better than average for sure.
Cool. Lanterns Dice is already out, so I'm going to go past that.
That one's fun.
Power Rangers. I don't know anything about it.
Lots of minis.
I have no interest in it because
was
it's
this
Power
a
Rangers.
Kickstarter too, or was it a regular?
It was a Kickstarter, I think.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
For somebody who missed,
I have no nostalgia for the Power. I never watched a single.
I don't either.
I don't know
didn't watch
anything except they have 4 colors.
Oh, this is a millennial thing. That's what it is.
Yeah, we missed it.
Yeah,
we missed it.
Yeah.
If this was
We'd
Battle
gone
of
up
the
to college
Planets,
by then.
I'd
I
be
have no nostalgia for Transformers either. Like that was I was already moved on.
yeah. All right, and there's a bunch of stuff. Proving Grounds.
This is very good.
Solo, yeah.
Solo game.
Yep, solo only. From Kane Klinko.
It's only.
Yep.
It's a solitaire dice game. So if you're looking for a solo game, there's one to look at. Then the 2-player Stefan Feld Revolution of 1828 is already out in stores.
Should have bought it.
So that one's already available. So I'm going to go past. And then I believe this is Tremors.
Tremors, the game.
Tremors, the game, which was kickstarted. Designed by Mike Elliott. If you are a big fan of Kevin Bacon Big Worm movies, you might.
And and the other actor?
Oh God, I can't remember.
Fred
Ward.
Fred Ward. Also known as Remo Williams.
Thank you. Oh, that's what I was trying to think of. Oh, man.
What,
I was skipping right past his real life.
He's in it
Try
too.
and find
Michael
much more
Grove.
important
Michael
name.
Gross. I mean, come on.
Michael
Michael Gross, Reba McEntire,
Such a
the
great
guy who
movie.
played Egg Chen.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name offhand. Gosh, what was his name?
That looks pretty awesome. We have that here if we want to
The
play.
game
You never could beat me, Egg Chen. Victor Wong was his name.
I don't know if the game is any good or not, but
It looks
I
fun.
like the table presence.
Look at that big mouth coming to get you.
It's
Is that a mountain?
I think that's the area with the
is that
mountains
It
around
looks
it.
like a giant mountain.
It could be
Yeah.
that. Too.
It's you're like in a ringed-in canyon type thing
Oh, okay.
where you can't get out, but
So it's inspired by.
it's got the spiky eggs and it's got little cars and stuff. I don't know. It's got good table presence, which will get me to stop and look.
Graboids. Oh, sorry.
I like that font.
Graboids, yeah.
Yeah, see, we can remember that. I remember that movie.
Dude, I've
came
watched
out-
that movie recently. There's a
I was a senior in high school when that movie came out. I took Elizabeth Ann Hamry, my girlfriend, to that movie.
Oh my!
Anybody know anything about this time chase, time traveling?
Next up is Time Chase, a trick-taking science fiction based
Might
card.
have to grab this for sure. It's like
Graboid it.
graboid it.
Yeah. It's a time trick-taking game with a twist. You're allowed to travel back in time to previous tricks and change their outcome. Yeah. It'll be interesting.
What is Jonathan?
Restoration Games has Conspiracy, the Solomon Gambit.
I remember playing the original Conspiracy. My brother owned a copy, and it was all beat to heck. But I remember liking that game. I wonder how much.
I don't think. Well, I don't know. I really don't know if it changed much, but I think it's sort of the same. You're trying to get the briefcase to your home,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you can't let people know who you are because they can stop you pretty easily.
Yeah, and it was.
They must have changed it though.
Yeah.
Any final art pictures?
It's all.
Gosh, why don't people take good pictures where you can see the game?
Click on it
Reservoir
and see if it
Killers.
zooms in. Yeah,
Reservoir
Reservoir
Dogs.
Dogs. Yeah. Click it one more time. See if it goes bigger. There you go. It goes real big.
At a bad angle, so
Bangle.
there you go.
I think that's a Photoshop.
Interesting. The original designer of Conspiracy was Eric Solomon, and this one's called the Solomon Gambit. So
Look at that.
Gosh.
I bet that's intentional. An expansion for Fireball Island, Spider Springs.
which was in, if I remember correctly, was in the.
I don't think it is. Actually.
No, it's
It
not.
was not part of the Kickstarter.
It's not.
Oh, it wasn't. Oh,
This
I had to look
something
it
new.
up. Yeah.
The Kickstarter had the little wrecked pirate ship thing.
Yeah, I bought the whole Kickstarter, and this was not included.
You know what we need on BGG? Not part of the Kickstarter tag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. If only we knew somebody who programmed the thing
I
and
know.
make it.
That's someone like
We already talked about this game, so we're going to go past it because we talked about it on the other publisher.
Did you see they released for Jurassic Park?
Rio Grande Games.
Oh, hey, it's sold out. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sold out button works.
I told them, I said, hey guys, you're sold out, right? Like, well, we don't have that many copies. So
Is this the only thing that's sold out?
no.
I'm sorry. Lance
No,
wants to do that. I just want to talk about that.
You know what's sold out? You,
Stop.
Richard, because you take money for videos now.
It's true. I am the ultimate sellout shill. I am the worst of the worst.
Sell out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Be proud.
Sell out.
He's just jealous.
Sure.
Lincoln just played Caravan.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Hey,
It's very retro.
well, never mind. We'll talk to him when we get to TMG.
What?
What was it?
It's retro.
Oh,
It
it's
feels
retro.
like it feels
Yeah,
like
it's like
an
an
older
old
style
school
game,
design.
but it's very good.
Joe Huber.
Yep. Joe Huber.
I don't know anything about it. It's a pick up and deliver game. There we go.
This is
What
game
game?
night. Dave teaches it.
Oh, well, I'll go watch the game night and see if I change my opinion on if I am interested or not.
The funny thing is, you don't move the camels to carry the goods. You carry the goods on a camel train.
Your money.
So
So you make a path.
Yeah.
So
you
the
make
gamers don't move; they're just lazy.
yeah.
Gotcha.
At long last, the Puerto Rico expansions that have
Puerto Rico expansion for anyone that still likes
It was
Puerto
in the
Rico.
deluxe version, but I don't think it has ever been available.
They were available
They were
originally
in
there.
that Alea box.
Treasure
Some of
chest.
Oh, the Alea treasure chest.
And then Underwater Cities, which is already out, but they're selling the third edition that has thicker cardboard mats instead of the shitty paper mats in the first edition.
Which makes me mad because I have first edition, but that's okay.
You too. And I have the shitty paper mats. But it's a good game.
It is.
I think it also
really
includes the promo of the one little dome thing in it as well.
Right.
Rock Manor Games has Set a Watch.
We talked about this at Origins, but very good game.
We've had a lot of fun.
Aldi, weren't you raving about it?
Yeah, it
yes,
was.
It's awesome.
Have they? When I did my video, I thought it was really awesome too. But I hated how no matter the player count, you had to have the full party. And he had told me, well, that might be something that I address down the road. I assume he didn't.
No, you do have to have all four.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
You only ever play with 3 though, because
Yeah.
someone's always at the camp taking.
Yeah.
It's really not that big a deal, Rada. Like, there's the.
Dude, I played it. I know what I did.
Oh, you played it? Okay, sorry.
Yes, I filmed a run-through of it.
Well, you can tell Aldi talked me into something on it if you look at the little
And
bar.
Keith doesn't like tower.
$15.90. I hate tower defense.
Isn't there some huge controversy about it, or the publisher?
Not that
Or
I
am I
know.
thinking of something else?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, whatever.
Well, then I better get the copy then, because then I won't be able to.
I highly recommend it. For a 30-minute game, 45-minute, it'd be a stretch if you go to 80.
Yep. Next up, Sandcastle Games, Res Arcana. It's already out in stores. Go buy it. It's good. Play with the draft.
Despite the online kerfuffles.
Yes, despite my battle to the death with Tom Lehman in the public arena.
It wasn't a battle to the death. Like, here's the thing. I realized
on your Reddit it was.
I realized you guys were bantering back and forth, but I never took it any seriously than it appeared to be.
I did. I had to make a choice pretty early in it where I wrote it and I deleted it and I wrote it again. I ultimately deleted it. And I'm glad I did. I had a whole paragraph of, dude, you saw my video weeks before it came out, and I've got the email from you saying how I adhered to your Siskel standard. What the fuck? Was my gut response. That you're throwing this shit in my face about Robert Ebert and how I don't live up to the fine pedigree. No, it was pretty serious, actually.
Oh, man, I must have missed that post.
Oh, perhaps you're thinking of some other fight I got in on Board Game Geek.
Maybe I caught it halfway through.
Do you have a mod that just follows Rado around to clean up his shit?
I just gotta start subscribing to you because apparently you're picking fights lately.
Yeah.
There's a little guy with the street sweeper and the broom just followed him around like in the cartoons, scooping up the shit up after the parade.
No, I'd like to think it's more like when I mosey on into town, the marshal has to keep an eye on me and it's following me around everywhere I go. Because he knows wherever I go, there's going to be trouble.
I am subscribed to you. I must not have read that part. I think I read something where you were like just disagreeing about whether or not how impactful the attacking stuff was.
Yeah.
I didn't read all of it, I guess. Apparently.
He and I quickly de-escalated, but it did start out fairly polite, heated. And that's what everybody remembers. And now everybody wants to punish Tom Lehman for
so dumb
to go against me. And it's just crazy. Just a bunch of crazy shit. But I'm very glad I took the high road and didn't.
If you and Tom were in the same room, it would be like no big deal.
Huh?
If you and Tom were like in the same room, it'd be no.
Oh, of course. No, I've been in the same room with Tom.
I think you'd like leap over a table and Superman punch him right in the face.
Oh. Next up, the Scorpion Mask with an expansion for Decrypto called Laser Drive.
Who cares? Moving on.
What?
Have you played Decrypto?
Yes.
No.
It's awesome.
Decrypto's cool.
I one time in my life, I'd like to hear you describe the game as being Aldi. I mean, you're just like, this game's awesome.
I'll find one on here. We'll get there eventually.
That game's awesome. This one, awesome. That game, awesome.
Well,
it's awesome.
I think Decrypto is probably not your best hill to die on there, Lance, because that's pretty widely acknowledged as awesome.
Yep.
I mean, it's cool. It's a good game.
All right, we're gonna play.
But it's an expansion, so I don't care.
I'm gonna break my copy.
Kabuki Kid says Decrypto is a great one, Lance. So
What does she
at
know?
this point, you're wrong.
She's a commenter in a Google Hangout that is going to that isn't going to work anymore soon. So
Don't fight the him.
You're saying she's a dinosaur.
yeah, she's an iconoclast. She's an anachronism.
So what is a family version of Think Again? So,
Thank God that's coming out.
I had seen that
a
before.
Bruno and Ludovic game. Shadow Squirrel Games has Fuzzy Mage Fight. This goes into the category we talked about earlier of somebody built this for some reason, and we don't know why. Sit Down. Dude Games has Bad Bones.
I've not. I have it. I've had it since SE and Gravity Superstar.
And the silence is deafening.
Gravity Superstars, both last. One of them's last year, one of them's this year. I don't know. Moving on to Skybound Games with The Grim Masquerade. Anyone?
I've heard good things, but I mean, they had like 20 copies at Origins, and they sold out in like 5 seconds. So I mean, I don't know, whatever.
I think we talked about this in our Origins preview. I remember discussing this one. So I'm moving on to Guardian's Call English Edition, which is another card drafting hand management game with bluffing and deduction. Oh, this is a James Hudson game.
So was Grim Masquerade.
I didn't know that because I didn't even read it.
For some reason, I keep thinking I've played Guardian's Call, but then I look at the game and I'm like, no, I haven't played that. And then I see it again, I'm like, I think I played this game. And then I'm like, no, I haven't played it. I just
was this a Kickstarter? Did it come out yet? Is it
yeah, well, it was out at Origins.
Right, but did the Kickstarter get delivered?
I don't know.
I feel like I
bought a copy at Origins. I played it once.
I remember seeing this on Geek and Sundry.
Yeah, it was a decent game. There was a couple rules that were it was hard to interpret based on how they were written. But it seemed like it was a pretty cool game.
Yeah, every time I see this, I'm like, I played this. No, I don't think I no, never played it.
Nope, I don't know anything about it. And I don't change my vote of not interested. So moving on to The Walking Dead, Something to Fear. So yeah.
Who's Derek Funkhauser? Why is that name familiar to me?
He's a board game spotlight guy on Facebook.
Okay.
Why?
Well, he's the designer.
Of what?
Of The Walking
Dead. He works for Skybound Games.
I met him at Origins. They're a very nice couple.
Yeah, Derek and Lizzie, nice people.
Walking Dead, which I've lost interest in, so I don't watch it anymore. So moving on. More Red Dragon Inn for people that like Red Dragon Inn. And more Cutthroat Caverns for people that like Cutthroat Caverns. Then the Menace Among Us for 4 to 8 players. Take it away, Richard. Tell us all about it.
What? Oh, you're silly.
Got it. I am a smart ass. Emphasis on the right word there, too. Semi-co-op game. And I'm moving on. Woolly Mammoth, we already discussed earlier. That was a remake, correct?
Sure.
I thought I saw that somewhere. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Guess not. It's a 2 to 4 player game of
Woolly Mammoths.
Yeah, it's probably got
Woolly Wammoth, right?
Woolly Wammoth.
Wammoth.
Correct. All right. Next up, Shobu from Smirk and Laughter Games, which is an abstract game. Probably good. I don't know. Then We Need to Talk, which we talked about during our Origins preview. Space Cowboys has Unlock Heroic Adventures. I'll be buying this, even though it's available in stores.
Bought it tonight.
Rub it in. Brides and Bribes. I've seen this like 3,000 times. So I'm moving on.
Lincoln's going to do a video.
No, we're looking into it.
We're looking into it.
Well, you know how popular it was at BGG Con? It was always in the library.
Yeah.
Sparkworks has Blind Spot, the word game.
It's hard to get noticed these days, right? I mean,
It is.
Mhm.
You place spots to cover letters and race to reveal words. Okay. Penny Lane is a worker placement city builder.
designer.
Pesky and no price. His
I
name
still got the Saw Man song in my head.
Penny Lane is a
Do you know the
Beatles
lyrics?
song.
Yes, I know, but I'm still on sell out. With me.
Oh, it's from the Mint Works folks.
The record company's gonna give you lots of money and everything.
Really nice guys.
right.
Real big fish guys. I worked a security for concert for them. Nice fellas.
The Beatles?
Some girl wanted to get up on the stage and dance with them.
Right.
And they said, and she was like, I want to come up on the stage. And they're like, you want to come on the stage? And I was like 22, 23 years old. And they're like, and then the guy like, and I was working the pit, and he pointed to this like little cute girl, and he's like, make out with that security guy. You can come up here. And she jumped over and started smooching me. And then they let her get back up on the stage and dance around. So
Nice.
yeah.
Cool. Next up is Spin Master Limited with Sinister 6.
Yeah, I want that.
That's great.
Yeah, the Daryl Andrews too, right?
Yep. That and Wakanda. I want both of them.
And if you order it, if you buy it, you get a bonus villain character of the
Both of them have
Hobgoblin.
promos. The Wakanda game you get
Hobgoblin.
promos, and that one you get one.
I thought it was co-op.
No, there's a nice little pile of stuff in that box.
Here's the interesting thing: they didn't do any minis that actually look like the characters.
No, they're all.
They just did little fists or whatever.
Yeah, but why?
Because their
Don't have,
fists
like-
are easier to sculpt.
Well,
This is cheaper.
I know
They
but
may not have the rights to miniature Marvels games,
the actual,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but they
so
have.
they have to make them look like player pieces and not miniatures.
But what? Do you guys agree with me? Like, why or no? You're fine.
Well,
with
like he just said that perfectly. It's like, I mean, maybe there's because of WizKids and HeroClix, like
They're not allowed.
they're
to
not
make
allowed. They're not allowed to make an actual true miniature of it.
So they have to make something else that's more of a player token, which those.
Then I've got to remember what everybody but the Green Goblin and Doc Ock are. Though.
It's slightly disappointing.
Yeah.
There you go, Lance. I was
Well, then you know what? Go buy the HeroClix figures and just use those.
okay.
Okay.
Buy like 50 of them because there's a
Yeah,
bunch.
because there's a crap load of them. That's probably why too. Because they're just symbols. They're not.
Yeah, you've got like a dozen tokens for each hero or villain. You're gonna have.
That's your answer because you're not actually the villain. You're just a token of the villain.
Yep.
All right, Wakanda Forever.
Yep.
What's this? Is this good? You want it?
I don't know, but I'm a big fan of Black Panther and I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so those two games are on my must-have list. And looks cool.
It's a good rendering. What does it really look like?
Mhm.
Wait, a 3-inch bust.
What are the little things? I don't.
Black Panther versus the Absorbing Man.
Pentagon
Crazy.
pieces, guys. Pentagons.
Yeah.
Meh.
Lance.
We'll let Pete buy it and tell us if it's good.
Yep.
That's Pete's job. And then we got Zodiac Clash. I don't know anything about this either.
4 designers on that game.
We're just gonna go look at the pictures and see what it looks like. Oh, it's got a little 3D board
And it looks like
of the Zodiac.
foil cards.
Yeah, it's odd. Not for me. Moving on. Next up, we've got Squeenix with Chocobo Party Up.
Anybody know anything about this?
Mm-mm.
Besides
It's got chocobos.
fantasy?
Yeah. And then we've got Final Fantasy Gold Saucer Cactpot Party. And then we have Tomb Raider Legends, which I think is already out in stores.
Is it?
I think I saw it on a shelf like 2 months ago.
Yeah, no designers listed for any of these.
Yeah.
Starling Games has Anomaly. which I don't know anything about.
For pre-order.
No, they don't have their stuff in pre-order.
Science fiction.
It's a very cool box cover.
It is.
It's an interesting board. Strange miniatures or figures. Standees. That's a good picture. But I don't know anything about it. I'm moving on now. Next up, Everdell, second printing. And then Everdell expansion for sale. And
I'm mildly interested in this.
Yeah,
I haven't played Everdell in a while, so
I didn't back the
Yeah,
expansion on Kickstarter because there wasn't anything exclusive. So I thought I'd just wait and pick it up somewhere, which is actually what I did with Everdell. I bought Gen Con last year.
But if you have a slight interest in Everdell at all, I'd grab this expansion at Gen Con because they don't tend to stock deep with their stuff, and it goes out of print for a while when it does. So
It's true.
I plan on grabbing it just even though I don't play a ton of Everdell anymore, because if I ever want to play it, it'll be impossible to find this once they sell out.
Everdell is a cool game, though.
I do like Everdell.
Steve Jackson Games has Deadly Doodles.
I am excited about this.
Really?
Yeah. Well, in part because I want to be able to say I really like a Steve Jackson game. So that in of itself draws me in. And yeah, I like roll and writes, and this one sounds cool.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
All right. Oh, neat. Oh, yeah.
Well, that looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
God damn it, Richard.
Looking right.
I strike again.
Damn it. It'll be cheap, I hope. I hate
Only a
that
thin wafer.
next game. But it does. It looks cool. It's drawing your own little dungeon path.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks neat.
I think it could be very good.
Stoneblade Entertainment with a pirate-themed Ascension game.
10 years now. How many years?
Stoneblade?
Or
What?
Ascension?
I don't know. I'll keep playing the app as long as they keep putting stuff in it. I mean, it's out there. Ringmaster, welcome to the big top. From Justin Gary. Know nothing about it. It's a 2 to 4 player game, which I guess technically Ascension is too. But what do we got? You got some cards. Anybody know anything about this? Just gonna move on. It looks like it's just a small game, so I don't know. Don't know anything about it. Moving on. Expansion for Shards of Infinity. Next up, this game's already out, so I'm moving past it, but it did win the Kennerspiel this year. So,
Yay. Go for eggs.
Yep. And it's going to sell like crazy even more than it's already selling. Stronghold has Amul, Stronghold English Edition.
I played this. It's good.
What's it?
You're running out of time, Aldi, to find the one you're mad about.
I know I really like this. It's a remember Fantasy Grounds. Was it Fantasy Grounds? What was the name of that one? Remember?
I don't remember at all.
You know the fantasy like set collection game where you play. You have a hand and then there's cards in the middle you draft and then at the end you score and you have like all these crazy combos. You guys know this game, Fantasy Realms.
Oh yeah.
Fantasy Realms.
Yes.
This is a more advanced version of that, or a better version, I should say. You have a lot more control. Come on. Don't love the theme.
I'm just thinking, good job remembering the name, Fantasy Realms.
Yeah.
I'm impressed that your brain can actually pull that forward.
How it
was
works.
WizKids.
Yeah, it was WizKids.
It was
I really wanted to love Fantasy Realms, but it didn't work.
All right. Next up is
Lance, here?
second edition.
What did I miss?
Aldi just threw shade at a game.
Really? Oh, because he said he didn't like the theme, but he still said the game was good.
I still like it, but I don't think it works as well as some game. There you go. Done.
Yeah, quite the shade thrown. I really like this game. It's awesome. I mean, I don't really like the theme.
Diamonds has a second edition, which I think has fancier cards, and it had a little thief expansion built into it. Diamonds is one of my favorite games. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big fan of the diamonds.
Next up, Dizzle, a dice roll. It's a roll and write.
What is up, my Dizzle?
as well as Encore, another one.
Don't know anything about
Ink and Marcus Brand on Encore.
Ralph Zerlund.
Linda.
First, Encore was first published as Nachmal. There you go.
Oh, it's Knockball.
Yeah. Quit changing names of damn games just because you bring in
top
US.
tier, by the way. Don't pass by.
Quit confusing people. Colors of Paris, one of the other painting games this year.
Do I know? Nikki was a little bit on that one.
Oh, yeah? Do you know anything about it?
Nope. It was called Momart, and nobody knows what Momart is in North America, which is not entirely true, but so she suggested that name, and that's what they went with.
How's the food?
Delicious.
All right. Next up is Cuzco.
Java.
That's Java remake.
Okay. Followed by Mississippi Queen.
Mississippi Queen.
Mississippi Queen.
You know what I mean.
You know what I mean.
Next up, U.S. Telegraph.
It's Attica.
Attica. It's awesome.
So they're all remakes. Gotcha.
Well, that's what those guys do.
They just rig out remakes. Yeah.
They're redone a little bit as well. I think Cusco has some changes. The only original one in there is Colors of Paris. It looks good though. It looks interesting. I mean, not good because I don't know.
Richard, which is the better 2-minute song, Mississippi Queen or song number 2 by Blur?
Incubation's fun.
Bonum. Woohoo! Yeah.
What's incubation about?
What is the answer, by the way?
Incubation is one where you're trying to collect eggs and hatch them, and which reveals goods. And as they stay in the circle there, they gain more goods. So it's water. It's fun.
Is it a family weight game?
Yes, light.
Yeah, it looks like something that my kids might like.
It's fun. We played it at the Gathering, and I have a copy already.
Oh, the Gathering! Wow.
We're gonna try to do it on the show. I know. I don't usually talk about it, but this is
another one of them. Lance, how do these Gathering people keep getting in here?
Yeah, just that's fine. As
You're just rubbing salt in Lance's wound.
as Bender said when he was getting thrown out at the casino, he's like, I'm gonna go start my own casino with hookers and with gambling and hookers and maybe without the gambling.
That does look kind of neat.
You would think so.
The pre-order has limited edition metal coins and plastic fire and water tokens.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
But it's beauty.
whoopee frickin' do.
Got like 3 days to
Deluxeified.
Deluxeified. Speaking of Deluxeified,
Mm.
that I will be done Deluxeified edition. Go get you one.
If you didn't get it, yep.
The Diluvia Project.
Yes. If everybody asks, has the art improved? Yes, the art has. I mean, it's still the same art, but more. It's a little more vibrant, and the issues with the cubes and whatever have been fixed.
And then next up from TMG is Old West Impresario.
If you like a little tile laying game and along with some dice drafting, you'll enjoy that one.
I was curious if Old West Impresario was coming from one of the publishers earlier on this list. Would it have prompted a why is this here from you? I was just kind of curious. I mean, you know what I mean? What is
I'm just gonna say no comment, and we're gonna move on to Third World Studios.
My other TMG question is, what's up with Emperor?
Emperor's Choice?
Yeah.
It's just waiting to get approved by Kickstarter.
So you starting it next week? You think?
TMG will let you know as soon as it's able to be launched. So I'll leave it at that.
All right.
All right.
Type it in that because I need to know.
And I assure you, you will know.
It's gonna be done.
We've got the 3 World Studios because I hate shit like this. Charmed and Dangerous, The Sisters Grimm.
Charmed.
The 3.
Charmed and Dangerous. It's a princess's card game. The OP. The OP. It's called. has Astro Trash. How's Astro Trash compared to Junk Orbit?
I think it's in the same vein.
I like Junk Orbit.
It's real time, right?
I don't know.
Man, there's like no information.
Well,
No designer, no artist.
I'll fling stuff out and do things. And we looked at this during the Origins preview. Moving on.
move along.
Moving on. Die Hard, the Nakatomi Heist board game. Isn't that out?
Right.
Yeah, I saw it at a store the other day.
All right, moving on. Dungeon Academy. Sorry.
That one's fun. It's real time. You're racing each other to you. It's basically like the Boggle thing where you put the dice in this thing and then you flip it over and then reveal, and everybody's trying to race through the dungeon without wasting. You only have so much life and mana, and you use the mana in your life to kill the monsters, and you can drink potions along the way to replenish. But you don't want to die inside the maze. There's Nikki demoing it. You don't want to die inside the maze because you lose. You don't score that round, obviously.
Yeah, you zonk completely.
Yeah,
to die.
and it's fun. It's hard though. It's
Really hard.
It's you basically go, okay, I'm done. Really fast.
And if you die, your timer runs out while you're inside the maze, you'll also die.
Yes.
So it's a 1 minute, 2 minute timer. Maybe?
It's very fast. And then the first out gets to grab the number one card, which lets you choose, 1, 2, 3, 4 to grab the cards. Then you get to choose one of those special power cards that flip up one for each player each round. It's fun.
But you have like goals where you're trying to kill more blue monsters.
Yeah, you see at the top it shows the different monsters, and it takes 2 mana to kill the larger ones and 1 to kill the smaller. And then below, you can only claim 1 of those per round. And there's only 4 rounds, so your goal is to make sure you can get. It's either, a large and a small monster, large of each color, and then 2 small or 2 large, and you get bonus points for those, and it's neat.
So when I played this game, I came in last every round, but I won.
Play better.
Yeah, well, you can.
Yeah,
no.
If you play smart,
and you do okay, yeah, as long as you don't
win.
wipe out,
I bet you can't do as poorly as I did in that crappy game I played with Lincoln last year.
Oh, I love that one. I can't wait to play it again.
you ended up with $0.
Yeah, that game was trash.
It's like you didn't even play.
I can't even remember the name of it. It's just called Shit the Game.
That was pretty bad.
Batman, we have that too already over there.
The Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle Defense Against the Dark Arts.
2-player one, right?
So yeah, 2-player little Harry Potter wizard battle, and then Talisman Batman, which we talked about in the Origins preview. Then from Themeborn, we have Escape the Dark Castle and a bunch of expansions. And I don't know anything about this either. It's a co-op.
I bought this and I have not played it yet, but the artwork's awesome. Like it's totally the old school.
Wow.
Somebody forgot to color it.
I like the art.
Yeah, and it's like instant death, right? Like you turn over a card, and it's like one of those unforgiving.
It embraces its old school nature.
It's old school video gamey dungeon, Dark Castle.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever played the Dark Castle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Moving on, Thundergriff game has hats.
Don't know anything about that.
That's about as close as we're going to get to him poo-pooing on something. I don't know anything about it.
I don't want.
All right, I'm sure there's going to be something on here.
Well, it's about hats, and yeah,
Looks like hats.
that looks like a cookie.
That's totally a cookie. Shot with major bokeh.
I don't know.
Is
Duncan James had a video on it.
Maybe that's a pincushion, not a cookie.
Rolling Ranch. Oh, look, it's another Rolling Ranch.
Cleverton Santiago artwork.
Yeah.
It's a Rolling Right. There you go. Speaking of Rolling Rights, I've pre-ordered this Rolling Right to pick
As
up.
did I.
No, you didn't.
Not from you. I pre-ordered it directly from the publisher a
you
while back.
cut me out.
Well, no, I didn't know you were going to have it preview.
I'm kidding.
Had I known you were going to have it for pre-order, I would have done so. But I pre-ordered it straight from Thunderworks because it's a role-player tale game of drawing maps and such, and it looks really cool. So this is a must-have game for me. As I said, I pre-ordered.
Players 1 to 100. Sweet.
That's right.
Is there 100 sheets inside the
I'm
game?
guessing there's 100
Lay it
sheets
out.
of paper inside. But yeah, this looks really cool. Richard did a video on it, I believe.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good.
So it looks solid. The one that didn't do it for me from Thunderworks, though, is Lock Up, a role player tale, the board game. I don't know if anybody else has any experience with it. It just
I
didn't do it.
Where's
For
it debuting?
It's a worker placement game where you place your workers face down, and then after it's all done, everybody reveals, "Oh, I sent a level 3 worker. Oh, I sent 2 level 2 workers, so I beat you, and I get to do the action. You get kicked out," kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah. Yeah, wasted action stuff.
like Blood Dragon.
Now you reminded me why I didn't buy it. Thank you.
I want that mechanism to die.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
You
I
sound very far away, Aldi.
Well, the mic is falling down.
want that mechanism to die.
Nah.
So there you go. He kind of poo-pooed on something.
There you go.
A mechanism, not a game. A mechanism.
Face down worker placement.
Well, since that game uses that mechanism, I think he preferred. He would,
Why don't you like face down workplace?
Because what exactly what Richard said. Oh,
Well, I mean, to
I
be
play the
fair,
whole
in this
round
game,
and I don't get to do anything because I placed it in all the wrong places in the wrong levels.
if you
Oh,
get kicked
so-
out, that means you go to, well, I think the library, and you end up getting power cards that'll help
Sure.
make up for
So-
the fact that you got screwed.
You
So
get
if you played better, then
You get the
wouldn't have that
consolation
problem, right?
Yeah.
You get
You
the
get
consolation.
consolation prizes. And what is it? It's I think, if I recall correctly, it's like half of the workers you place or have to be face up and the other half are face down, something like that.
Sure.
So there is imperfect knowledge.
Right.
Oh, he put a 1 over there, but he's also put something else there. It's either his 4 or his 2. What do I do? You know,
Right.
kind of a thing.
Yeah. Not a fan of that.
Very much all about the mind games.
Hmm.
Next up is Heist One Team One Mission,
I'm getting this now because I
Which
just
is
noticed I've never
a
seen this.
cooperative electronic game
I like
where you're trying
games
to
about
break
it.
into something here. It check out the little
I
thing.
know. That looks awesome. What is that?
See, look at him already.
Oh,
That looks
I
awesome.
marked it as not interested because of memory.
Oh man, Rado, you're
Folders of my mind.
such a wet blanket. You're right. Yeah, that's not good.
Misty
He's
Water.
all like, and if it's a word game, it's got to be something good, right? Right. Ollie?
I really don't like word games.
Whatever. You liar.
Ever.
Liar.
You're working together.
All right. I'm going to go against my better interest and mark this up to undecided
Mm.
because I like electronics,
Wow,
but I hate memory. I'm torn.
you're really branching out there, buddy.
Yep. I'm taking a risk. Going to gray.
Then we've got Rubik's Cage.
No designer.
No designer.
No
Not
category. It's not. What was that?
We didn't need any of that.
It's a puzzle.
No, I don't think so.
Uproarious Games, Getaway Driver. 2-player.
Uproarious games.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Uproarious.
Getaway Driver is a fun little game.
So
I
it's
remember
trying to be
playing
like
it.
Bullet or the Italian Job.
Oh, it's Jeff Beck.
You're trying to be the
Yeah.
driver.
Yeah.
But it's.
Escaping.
Oh, I mean, it's. I thought it was published by Tim Fowers.
I know. I would have thought.
Yeah. I know he worked, but all right. I mean, when I covered it, Tim sent it to me, not. But I guess he's decided to start his own thing and branch out from Tim. And more power to him. This was a cool little game.
Van Ryder Games has Detective City of Angels.
This is awesome sauce.
Am I allowed to say awesome? Yeah.
Best mystery solving board game ever.
Really?
You like it better than
So he's not hyperbolic.
Better than what?
um
Name one that I like better than it. I doubt
I'm,
you.
no, I'm wondering if you like it better than Chronicles of Crime.
Yes.
Because it's the competitive part of it.
Because of the player versus player stuff.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't like mind games, then no. As it happens, I actually kind of do like mind games. And yeah, I had such a blast playing the Chisel.
The Chisel. Yeah.
So this is a competitive detective game then? where
You can play it cooperatively where everybody works together, but it was designed to be competitive. There's one player who has all the information about how the murder happened and what the weapon was and all that stuff. And while the other player, actually everybody's competitive because you're all corrupt police detectives, all trying to be the first to solve the case and get your promotion. And so you're driving all over town and paying off informants and shaking down nightclubs, threatening to take away their liquor license and stuff like that, and trying to solve the clues. But whenever you are one of the dirty detectives, you go to interview a witness. That's when the chisel player, because the chisel player has several different answers you can get. The chisel player can tell the truth or lie and try to mislead all the different detectives who are all following different leads and stuff like that. And every time, if I as a chisel lie to one of the detectives, they can call me on it if they think it's bullshit. And if they're wrong, and I was actually telling them the truth, then I get leverage over them, which means I can kind of mess with or slow them down. I forget what that was, but it was mostly just fun lying to people. And then basically, I mean, you hand them the card, and it's the truth or the lie, and they get to look it up because all the other dirty detectives don't get to see what the answer was because they weren't there when the interview happened, and they have to look you in the eye and figure out, are you lying to me? Is this the truth? And it's real. It's like a very cool dramatic moment, and it's just an absolute blast. And for players who don't like it, you can also play a fully cooperative version where you play basically against a storybook instead of a human player who's choosing the answers you get, and it becomes kind of like a branching choose your own adventure investigation thing. So it works that way too, but it's really cool. Jen and I had a fun time playing it just as a 2-player with her as the police, although it's better with more players because if you have multiple players, then when you're interviewing me, another one can pay the informant to eavesdrop, and it's really cool. I don't think I'm doing it justice, but it's really awesome.
You're doing it. It's good. The one thing that's about it's the first. I think it's the first detective game where each person gets to work their own case, right?
Everybody's working the same case.
I mean, I know, but you get to work your own version of it.
Exactly. Everybody's
which is awesome because
you don't have to follow somebody else's lead, is what you know.
If somebody, whoever makes it to the crime scene first, sometimes the stuff they find there, they have to enter into evidence, and then all the detectives get to know what it is. Sometimes they can choose to pocket it, and then it's not revealed to everybody else what it is. At which point you have to start following each other, and and eventually the police chief finds out. So you get 3 rounds, I think, where only you get to know what you found at the crime scene if you were the first one there. Just so many cool, really, really cool ideas. I mean, it's so atmospheric. And, and it does that great Chinatown film noir, LA detective thing beautifully. I mean, don't get me wrong. Chronicles of Crime is very, very cool. And I its technological stuff is very nice, but the design of Detective City of Angels just destroys anything else. It is best of class.
Well, thanks for adding more shit to my list.
You're welcome.
I think you'll like it, Keith, especially if you
I'm
like Detective.
hooked on Detective
Portal.
Geez,
It feels alive because the lying thing.
Yeah,
and you don't, and the person doesn't have to speak. The chisel.
Yeah.
They just hand you a card, and you read it, and it says blah 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 blah, and then you have to think, well,
some people have said that they think the role of playing the chisel is kind of boring because you don't exist in the world. You don't actually move around from place to place and shake down speakeasies and all that. But I played it as a 4-player game, and it's the toughest job because I have to keep track of who have I lied to, who did I actually tell the truth. What am I trying to make this other person think? It's really cool. There's so much going on.
All right. As we're narrowing down the list, Skull Tales, which we talked about during the Origins preview. It's a big bunch of pirate miniatures. If you want a bunch.
Right?
No, I did not.
Or Pete.
Pete. I think Pete was going to get it.
Yeah, he did.
Vesuvius Media with Dwarves 7's Fall Collector's Edition.
7 Dwarves Fall.
Whatever, that's not what it says. I'm making fun of their dumbass name. I don't know anything about this game.
I kind of remember, but I don't remember much.
I'll be nice and look at a picture. It's got cartoony art.
Hand management set collection, take that. Of course it has take that.
Yep. And it has those look like gnomes, not dwarves. No, I'm just saying. Pointy hats, gnomes.
Garden gnomes.
Oh, Keith, also, back to Detective City of Angels. All of the art is by Vincent Dutray.
I noticed that on the back of the box while you were.
Yep, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, he does like dozens of character portraits, and it's really great.
He's only one of your favorite artists, so
Yep,
you had to get that in. Which I like his art too. So, Nocturion. Don't know anything about this.
I need more about it. Dice rolling, variable player power, worker placement.
I almost feel sorry for the people at the end of the previews when I've lost all energy, but that's what they get for naming themselves near the end of the alphabet.
Yeah, that's what they deserve.
These are horrible photos.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fantasy game, so that's what I'll leave with that.
Looks like it's language independent.
it has a terrible generic description.
Yep.
It's a dice rolling worker placement and resource management board game. Players try to fulfill quests and find their legendary heirlooms by gathering resources and forging mighty armies of beasts with variable asymmetric powers. Player with the most victory point wins. Thanks for adding that. Thanks for wasting an entire sentence on that instead of a sentence actually describing what makes your game unique and special.
That's like your rule book that tells you to place your board in the middle of the table. What did you think I was going to do? Staple it to the wall? Yeah. Victory Point Games has a bunch of Dawn of the Zed stuff and Nemo's Wars expansions. Vigor Games has Growl.
Nice cover art.
4 to 10 players. So it sounds okay. Oh, the deluxe edition has a little puppet looking thing that's eating the box. So that looks pretty neat. Anybody know anything about this? I don't.
Nope.
Oh, look how pretty that is. See, look at that. Look at that box.
Oh yeah.
And everybody wants
That's
that.
how you do a sleeve.
It is a box sleeve that is
The box sleeve
kind of
that's
like
pretty
a
awesome.
Yankee or something.
I like it.
A magnetic box. I'll give them credit for that because magnetic boxes are cool. But yeah, then I'm done and I've lost interest already. VR Games has Swords and Sails English editions. 89 bills.
Right.
89 bills.
Lance, you played Sword and Sails, right?
Yep, it's definitely a throwback game. It's old school. I mean, but if you grew up playing big, long strategy games with lots of armies and lots of dice, then this is right up your alley.
Oh my! Are there any images worth me showing? Oh.
We didn't actually cover everything, right? So
yeah,
yesterday we only covered
stopped.
the hotness.
Yeah.
No, we got to the end, but
Weird Giraffe Games has Dreams of Tomorrow.
That's a nice game. It's a rondelle game where the rondelle is constantly shifting around, and and you can change the direction you're going, and it's neat. It's fun.
Can you bring up the video for that, Keith?
Oh
wow, look at that. I like the coloring.
Oh, I forgot about the it has that Takedo. As you collect the cards, they end up making a panorama view as well.
Oh, speaking of Takedo.
But yes, as you can see, boom, the rondelle just changed, and I thought I was about to move here, but somebody else moved it, and now I'm going counterclockwise instead, and stuff like that. It's neat. It's a fun little puzzly game.
There's a new game in the Takedo world coming out.
Oh.
That I saw in a mailer the other day.
I saw that.
I know what it is, but I'm not gonna say. I can't. I don't know if I can.
Nope, I take it back.
The name's been announced.
Something of a different game.
Okay.
I just can't remember it off the top of my head.
Is it the Naruto?
Yeah.
Naruto.
I think so. Yeah, something like that. It was announced. There was a mailer that came out with it.
It's actually it's in the preview for Game Designer movie. It's in the trailer.
We talked about Fire in the Library last time. Mickey Mouse Snuggle Time from Wonder Forge.
I think I'm gonna go
Lance, get ready.
Uh-oh. This is my number one game. This is my must-have. My only must-have. Snuggle Time, baby.
It's Force Pruzan.
It might be awesome.
Could be good.
Wait a minute. Were you about to cast aspersions on Snuggle Time without any firsthand knowledge?
No.
I have throw Snuggle Time under the
knowledge of the game. What? No. I told Lance to get ready. Not this.
Okay.
It's a calming cooperative game that's perfect for bedtime, nap time, or any quiet time.
I'm going to use this with Rob Warren so we can fall into a peaceful sleep during Gen Con.
It looks awesome.
Wonderment Games Quad Heroes.
There you go.
It's been rolling around for like 3 years.
All the awards next year for best production, best minis, all that. It is such a lovely.
This is the game that we played for about half hour and then put it back in the box.
Oh, really?
It was not for us.
It looks the idea.
It looks amazing, and I really, 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 really want to love it, and I really don't.
It looks like a gimmick game.
It's so neat, but doesn't work for us.
What, do tell. I'm sure Lance is on the edge of his seat.
I am. Look at
it. The movement is like painful to figure out. Like, I need to be in this position to do this thing, and I have to think about it. And they've basically given you 2 pieces for every piece, right?
Yeah. So
you can have it in your hand, and
you can flip around to figure out how to move.
So you're basically all you're doing is this, like, which is not fun for me. At least it wasn't fun. And then we're like, okay, well, my turn came back around. Like, what? Then everybody moved, which changes everything. Then I have to refigure out my turn. I don't know. It was painful for me.
Were you playing a competitive or a cooperative mission?
Competitive.
Okay.
Literally the tutorials. We went through, because there's like 4 to 5 tutorial things.
Yeah, there are.
And we went through all of them, and then we're like, we can't play the game. Nobody wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There's my negative.
Wow. There you go.
I think it's a beautiful game, and if you like programming movement games and you are really good at it, and you want a million power-ups and a million like really cool game-breaking effects, this is the game for you. This game is for somebody.
It's not for you.
You're not saying it was a bad game. You're just saying it was a bad game for you.
Correct. It's just not an activity that I enjoyed playing, right? Like, because you have to be like, I need to be on my feet for my next turn so I can do this special ability, right? And so you have to figure out, how do I move to get to that point? And I just didn't like that process. That's all. Anyway, no offense to anyone.
Next up, Wyvern Gaming.
There you go, Lance. Happy?
Well, never been happier. Thank you so much.
We've got Cthulhu, the deck building game, or something to that effect next.
This one's been around for a while. I remember this game.
And it has an expansion.
Several years ago.
Oh, it's 2016. Moving on. Sojourn. Single player game. $20. It's about time travel. All right. XYZ. Borderlands Tiny Tina's Robot Tea Party.
That one too. All the Tea Party games.
So that would be an inside joke for fans of the video game, I assume.
Yeah, it's Tiny Tina's a character, and she's a smart mouth, and you're basically just building claptraps. So, Yoka Games has Chio Hero, War of the Three Kingdoms. Z-Man Games has Choose Your Own Adventure, War with the Evil Power Master.
Of course.
Hadara.
That was not for yet.
Nope.
Would have grabbed it.
Hadara was not out yet?
No.
You said?
Not in the store tonight.
I'd like to play it, but I don't need to buy it.
It's good.
I've watched videos of it. I think it's got cool mechanisms.
I like it.
But I'll never need to play the game more than one time. But I do want to play it once. So, sadly, this is one of my big must-haves from the convention because Love Letter is one of my favorite games. It is my favorite filler game. It is my let's just kill a little bit of time before the end of game night and do something mindless while we talk, and we play Love Letter.
Not Cthulhu Love Letter.
No, Cthulhu Love Letter is too convoluted.
We played Cthulhu Love Letter for 2 hours.
The best version of Love Letter is Batman Love Letter.
Yeah. Batman
because
Love
Batman Love Letter is the best because it's the only one where you'll intentionally discard the 8 card to keep someone else from winning the entire game instead of just the round. Because if somebody has a Batman card and knows you have the Joker and there's just 2 of you left, if they hit you with the Batarang, you're going to lose 2 tokens. They're going to gain 2 tokens to potentially win the game. Where if you just throw away the Joker, they only get 1. So it actually has the most strategy for a love letter game.
Are you logged in as Board Game Geek?
This is me. This is on my phone.
We searched for Runaways yesterday, didn't we?
You did while I was on the phone. Oh, on the live stream.
Okay. Sorry.
But Batman Love Letter is my favorite version. But
So Keith, what is new about this version of Love Letter? Because we saw the regular.
So it plays up to 6 players. It's changed
different?
publishers, right?
Oh, yeah, but there's already we saw 3 different Z-Man editions at the store today.
Okay, so the new edition, the 2019 edition,
Why did it
plays
change
up.
publishers? It was
Uh,
AEG, right?
They sold
AG sold it. So
Wow.
cash in hand. That's why they sold it. I'm sure.
I wonder how much that ticket was.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a nice check.
How much? Aldi.
What would you pay for the Love Letter license, Rado?
I don't know. I don't know how much. I'm from the video game industry.
$100,000? Is that too much? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
200?
How much is
How much?
it?
Well, here's the deal. How much does Love Letter make a year? Multiply that by like 5.
Okay.
Is that a formula that people would go with? I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, do you want to know what it has different?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. It takes it up to 6 player count out of the box. It adds 2 new cards. It actually changes the numbering on the cards. The princess becomes a 9. It adds in 2 new rolls. One roll lets you draw, I think, 2 cards and put 1 back on the bottom or something like that. I can't remember exactly because I haven't played it. And the other one is a 0 value card, which is a spy. If you're the only person still in the round at the end when you compare values, if you're the only person who has discarded a spy, you will get a point as well. They've added 2 new roles.
Okay.
But since they added new roles and mixed it up, I would like to play this one. I like it. I love Love Letter.
Make a 1 box full of all the Lost Legacies. Like I just want like 1 box.
1 big box set. I like Lost Legacy, but I never really play it.
I prefer it.
I think it's a deeper game. It's a more gamery game, but I like Love Letter just for tossing the cards.
Sure.
And the premium box that AEG did with the big cards that came with the sleeves and plays up to 8 players, that's a really good version too. I like it quite a bit. But my favorite pocket travel one is probably Batman. It has a little bit more strategy, so I like it. But Love Letters, but like I said, my number 1 filler game. So I've been playing it for years.
Yeah.
Then we have Noctiluca. There you go. From Shim Phillips. I like Shim Phillips games.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this.
Publishes himself.
Why didn't he publish this?
What has Shem Phillips made that I should know?
All the North Sea games.
Oh yeah.
Architects of the West Kingdom.
Yep, got it. Yeah, why didn't he publish it himself?
I don't know. It comes with like a bajillion dice. Maybe he just didn't want to.
Jack with that. Yeah.
Hefty price tag on production.
How does the game play?
It's a bottle of Diet Mountain Dew.
No, there's just a bunch of dice laying on the thing. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth fighting my way into the Z-Man booth to find out. We'll see.
You'll be able to get that pretty easily. If you want.
But I mean, if you look at that,
we're done.
But if you look at that board, it's just kind of like, yeah, there's just a bunch of dice.
Yeah, I know. That's why it kind of turned me off.
You don't want to cover a pandemic rapid response?
Oh,
it's in stores, so
it's already out.
It's already out.
Sorry, you know you were skipping this.
No, I'm just picking on it mostly.
Yeah, I played that with Rado at BGG Con.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah, it was good. We played twice.
Yeah.
I bet.
There's a lot out on this one, and if you like real-time Pandemic, it's probably a great game. But I don't like Pandemic nor real-time games like
there's
this.
No
so
pandemic
therefore,
Really, there seems to be a pandemic on the title.
There's no pandemic mechanisms. You don't draw cards. You don't have a hand.
Is it
You
cooperative?
draw cards.
It is
It's
cooperative.
Well, there's a mechanism. Cooperative is a mechanism.
It
and
looks
they're
like it's
both
only available
cooperative.
for pre-order everywhere, not actual for
You're
sale.
killing me.
Yeah.
Well, is cooperative a mechanism?
No, it is not.
Sure.
That is silly.
No, not really, but well, yeah, sure.
Is it listed on the #1 website for board games as a mechanism?
I think it might be a category, but I don't know.
Hmm.
Twirl it down there, Pete or Keith.
What's that?
Twirl down the details. It's a mechanism. Yeah,
Yeah,
that needs to be taken out.
Confirm that. I've had to search by that many times.
So my problem with this is it's one of those where you get excited, you knock everything across the table, and you ruin your game, and that turns me off.
But that's the fun of it. That's
no.
it's pretty good, Keith. Well, all right. Well, we'll see.
Well, I know how it plays.
I'll grab a couple copies to bring to the hot
I
games.
watched Game Night. And
What store is it in? Because I've looked up. I mean, it's not selling online.
But I think it was only a 2-month exclusive. So it's
Probably-
coming
it's
up
probably
on the end of
available
2
now.
months.
Hey, Board Game Geek. Jersey.
Oh, who had it exclusive?
Target.
Okay.
I think
There's literally like 4 games that are must-haves for me this
all right,
gen.
let's hear him. Let's hear him.
Well, it's none of your business.
You say this every year.
Do you want a show where people like to watch it, or do you want them just to like leave?
all right, I'm going to go through my list. So let's see here.
Bring the screen
Oh
back.
well, thank God.
Bring it
I need to hear what you want.
That's right, you do. No,
Yeah.
you don't, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Yeah.
I've got cartographers as a must-have. I want foodies. I want the new.
But you
Ro-
pre-ordered cartographers. That's
Yes,
not,
I did.
that really doesn't count. I mean, no, you can't pre-order something and say it's a must-have. You're already getting it. This is you're going to Gen Con. These are the games you have to pick up.
Right. The Love Letter
It's
new
just doing-
version. I want that. The Clank expansion. I want to look at Deadly Doodles now. Thanks, Richard.
You're welcome.
I want to look at a Deckscape game. Thanks, Richard.
You're welcome.
I want to check out Detective Club and see what I think. Now I want to check out Detective City of Angels. Thanks, Scott and Richard. The Everdale expansion, Letter Jam. I need to take this one off because I watched a video and didn't like it, so I'm removing Little Town. Obscurio I want to check out. Point Salad, Rail Pass, the Teotihuacan expansion, and I have, for some reason, I have the Towers of Arcanos on there from our preview last week.
Yeah, we got to get Obscurio for the hot games room.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it's going to be for sale or not because I saw an ad on. I saw a listing on Facebook from them that said demo it at Gen Con.
Oh, crapola.
You got it listed as
Not gonna be for sale,
sale, so I don't know, 50-50. It wasn't Asmodee who did the Facebook
Not allowed.
post. It was limited. So
What are you talking about now?
Obscurio.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's going to be for sale or not. I'm intrigued by this Arcanos game, though. I've got to go check that out.
I did do a video of it.
You did do a video of Towers of Arcanos?
Of course I did.
Why have I not seen a video of this if you've done
Because
this?
I make too many videos and it's easy to.
They flood. Do you publish out every video you make onto your feed? Like you can restrict them.
Which feed?
Your YouTube feed.
No, I get an email every goddamn
video,
time
yeah.
he puts one up.
Wait, what?
I get a video every time. I click the bell on his, so I get an email every time.
You click the bell.
Yeah,
I never told you to click the bell. Why would you do such a thing?
because then it emails me.
Why
when
you
you-
subscribe and click the bell?
because that's what needed to be done. That was 9 months ago you did this. Was it a Kickstarter?
Yeah, it was Kickstarter.
Okay, that's why. 9 months ago was when I was in my funk of not watching board game shit.
I told you it would come back around to you, man.
What, me?
Yeah.
My funk? Oh, I know. It does it every year. I get in that funk and lose interest, and then I lose interest right after BGG Con when there's no new games, and then I get it back when con season comes back. It just cycles like that for me.
So here's my list. You're so
Yay.
excited to know. King's Dilemma, which could go down to nothing. I got to look at the box and decide if I want to spend it.
Yeah.
Have you seen any pictures of the inside of the box? It's
Anyway.
amazing. It's amazing.
Oh God, you're just
It's
like a
amazing.
broken. It's your broken record. Here, I'll just say,
I'll just
say this game, and you can say, "Oh, it's amazing."
It's Quad Heroes.
Well, you said you need to look at the box.
We just start saying
I
it's
just-
amaze balls.
No, I don't want to look inside the box. I just want to take a look at it and decide if I want to drop $80 on it or not. Because I think this is one of those games too. It'll be tough to find after the fact.
I'm afraid that you'll buy it, you'll play it, and then you'll look like the guy on the cover when you're done.
Well, he already does this all the time. I mean, it's constantly.
So, and then Black Angel and Glorantha the Gods War.
I thought you bought that at Origin.
Gods?
No, I did not buy it at Origins. Rob bought it at Origins.
Bought it.
And then I will probably pick up Century Golem Edition Eastern Mountains. You know, just because I want to get it. But I mean, it isn't a must-have. If I don't get it, I won't cry. You know. So yeah, I mean, like, there's just nothing. Nothing's like, oh, I just don't own it.
You want my list?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not even a little.
All the games. There we go. We got your list.
No. Oh
I
no.
would assume he has used his tool to be able to clearly specify.
I have 19.
All right.
I'll go 5211. Abomination. A mule. Luma. Artemis Project. Black Angel. Carnival of Monsters. Did you guys talk about a Carnival of Monsters at all? That's a Richard Garfield game.
Because nobody knew anything about it.
So that's the one that they tried to kickstart because it had so much art, Amigo, and it kind of bombed. Like it backfired. It was messed up. But it's a Richard Garfield. Everdell expansion. The Queen of Hansa. Sabotage. Flower Games.
That is very good.
Shadow Rivals. Sierra West. Teotihuacan expansion. Towers of Amharb. That's from I just buy Mo Ideas games. Doesn't matter what it is. Unmatched. Wreck Raiders and Master of Respect.
You don't already have Wreck Raiders?
Nope.
You didn't back the Kickstarter.
I don't know what happened, man. I missed it.
Oh man.
There you go.
I have Wreck Raiders on my shelf over there.
Well, you guys talk how much great it is. I have to get it
It's a
now.
nice little game. I'm looking at my shelf, and my surprise game from Gen Con last year that was good, that I bought not expecting to be, is Monster Crunch.
Yeah,
That game.
Monster Crunch is great.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be garbage.
Can't play two players though. Or can you? Can you play two?
Can't remember.
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever played it too.
Can't remember.
And for people going to Gen Con, I'll plug in because I'm going to be nice, but the Board Game Geek booth is going to have a lot of new crap for sale. So if you want to pimp out your game,
Those geek bits are awesome.
go get some geek bits because there's some really cool geek bits going to be at the show.
I think we have 20 different sets,
Yeah.
including Quacks and the Quacks expansion.
Quacks expansion.
2 years from now, that's going to be all you have for sale is just geek bits for 30% of all the games on the market. They're so good.
Oh yeah, I got to go over there and get geek bits from you. That was actually a must-have. I forget which one it was though.
Altiplano.
Orleans?
No,
I'm just teasing.
everybody's funny. Everybody's just so funny.
Targi?
As my mother would say to all of you, 10,000 out of work comedians, and you're telling jokes.
Don't quit it. What's your day job?
All right.
Wingspan, Quacks, Altiplano, Underwater Cities, Detective, Endeavor, Gold Express, and then a whole bunch of other stuff. Wingspan, Burgle Brothers, Fireball Island, Targi Seasons.
Oh, the Wingspan ones, because they'll sell out immediately. So that's like the one just in case I want.
Gorgeous.
Here's what sucks. Have you known you were doing
You're gorgeous, Lincoln. With
We
your flowing hair.
gave them to an auction. They went for that with the game we played on game night, signed by everybody in Deborah, went for like $210
So
for
charity. Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I ordered as part of the Kickstarter for the expansion for Endeavor the wooden tokens, and now you've got good ones. I'm like,
Oh,
son of a bitch.
We have such a lead time on these. It's like,
I know.
and here's the deal: we spilled the beans on Quacks like 6 months ago, right? And every day it's like, when is the Quack Spits coming out? When are the Quack Spits coming out? Driving Beth insane because we post it every month. July. They're still coming out this month.
Yeah.
They're
I
here.
just want to know when.
They're in town.
They keep checking.
They're in.
But it doesn't mean they're going to go on the website yet, right?
They go
That's the
up
problem.
soon.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't know which day because I'm not in charge of that.
I've got awesome Quack Spits.
Yeah, the 3D
Yeah,
ones are cool.
But
dude, these we played with them the last Saturday, and they're just unbelievable. They look so good.
Yeah.
They're really.
I'll need the new ones and the old ones just so I can get.
Can I plug more stuff for BGG?
Sure.
I need to sell some stuff.
Shirts.
We have 8 versions. We have 8 new T-shirts. 8 designs.
Show them. Hold them up.
I can't show them yet.
BGG shirt.
I can't show them yet.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
You have to come and find them. See them at the show. This is because we're rebranded. It's all brand.
Oh, I see.
I can't show
it. That's why I got the jersey hanging here because
you're gonna retire that thing.
Farewell to the jersey.
Remember what it looked like.
I'll never let that thing go. That's prized possession right there.
I never got.
So we have T-shirts. What else do we have? Hats, hoodies,
Hats, hoodies. Underwear, socks.
Underwear.
No.
Bits, promos, like a 500 promos.
All the silicone stuff.
All the silicone bowls.
Silicone.
Silicone card holders, bit bowls.
Bit bowls are the best. Those are my favorites.
Oh, the bag. We have tons of bags. Tons of bags.
Big bags. Oh, you
Yeah,
mean
Teotihuacan bags.
game bags. I think the Teotihuacan bags look nice. Those are pretty.
The burgundy bags.
Burgundy bag.
All kinds of bags.
Burgundy bags.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Once I hired Beth full time, it's like.
Yeah, I got this package back at Christmas. It said Santa Geek on it, and there was an assortment of just bags in there. And I'm like, what's this for? And they didn't have any labels on them, but I use those things all the time. It's like randomize these tokens in the bags they go.
Yeah.
And so I just keep those out all the time for games. They're so useful.
I want to do a giant, huge, ridiculously stupid bag. Like I got to talk to Beth about that project.
You need to get with Richard and do a chicken cup.
Oh my God, Richard, should we make a chicken cup?
Okay.
Can we license that from you?
I have nothing to do with the chicken cup. We just bought it in Prague.
Where'd you find it? Oh, it's in Prague?
Etsy store where the sisters who make them and a whole bunch of other awesome stuff. I'm sure would be very interested in any.
Do you still play with a chicken cup?
Yeah. It's just in the other room.
Uh-huh.
I now have a separate room for filming instead of playing, so it actually is on the table where I actually play stuff instead of. So it never shows up in videos anymore.
Yeah, I miss the chicken cup. I know it's stupid, but I do. You don't have to go get it.
It's a come off coffee cup with chicken head on it, like a really common chicken head. Comically, chicken head.
He uses it as his blind draw container. And it's a chicken cup.
Chicken feet, chicken tail. It's good stuff.
We can make those.
There you go. Unfortunately, I have no use for it in Dice Throne.
Cool.
You should partner up with Richard, do a chicken cup, and have the Rado Runs Through logo on one side of it too.
We'll talk.
I think they should really talk with the artist who created the chicken cup.
Probably.
Often for his videos.
Oh my!
I'm gonna hit it, guys. You take care.
See you link in less than a week. So see you Tuesday.
Bye. Is he going back to LA now?
No, I'm going to bed.
I'm going
I only got
upstairs.
2 hours of sleep last night, so
Yeah,
I'm tired.
flew into this morning. His arms are tired.
Yeah.
I'm still with you guys if you want me, Lance. Lance, do you want me?
What? What are you talking about? You're being
Nothing.
weird. Tell me about another game you don't like.
Outer Rim.
Arkham Horror 3rd Edition.
Ooh.
I told you I already didn't like Outer Rim. Too long for me.
Didn't like that.
It's just not snappy enough. I want to love it.
Have
What
you
else?
played Who Goes There yet?
Who goes there?
Yeah, you can play that and not like it.
No, I don't have. I put that in the library. I know I won't like Two Goes There.
Yeah, that's my that won my table rake award.
Oh, really? Just swept it off the table, put it in there.
Well, unfortunately, with this gaming well, I can't just sweep it off the table with the satisfaction one. I got to scoop and dump. But it got the table rake. It did not get put back in its nice insert. It got thrown in and shaken until I could get a lid on it. So whoever gets that from me, I think Anthony said he'd take it. So he's going to get just a mess inside a box.
I took a picture for you, Lance, tonight at the store.
Oh yeah, what was the picture?
I'll show you.
Well, I'm waiting. Are you sending it by text or by
showing it to the camera?
Can you see it?
Bootleggers. Is it Bootleggers? Is that what you're showing us?
Yeah.
Is that the game that you never played or whatever?
I've not played it, but we were talking about Bootleggers last week, right?
Don Byer, baby.
Okay, get it.
I went to a 24-hour game day, and
why are you
learning Bootleggers is when I failed at the 24 hours and fell asleep.
And I got a picture for Keith.
Yeah, you sent that to me. Yeah, F you.
Look at all those copies on the shelf.
Wow.
There was at least 20 copies on that shelf.
Oh, I know. And mine's sitting in Montreal.
Our local store, I mean, it's not really that. It's 45 minutes away local. I don't know.
Do they bow when you walk in?
So good. No, but I'm friends with one of the guys there. He's really a sweetheart. He was very nice to me tonight.
Are you getting any kind of bonus promo cards or anything for having pre-ordered it, Keith?
No, I'm paying full MSRP and shipping.
Yeah. Well,
and specifically, so the benefit you were supposed to get was early.
Yeah, get it early.
Isn't that the definition of pre-order? Like, I'm gonna get it.
Pre-order means yeah. Well, basically, from them it means give us money early and wait like forever for your shit.
I'm really surprised they said that to you, though. Well, we're on vacation, man. Well, we can't ship you that game.
Games are on vacation, and they didn't even apologize. Like, they didn't even say, "I'm sorry." They're in Canada, for God's sake. I think they broke the law by not saying "I'm sorry," but they are in Montreal, so
that's a pretty good. I'm sorry there. You actually threw me. Wait a minute, is Keith Canadian? I just never knew.
I played Brook City last weekend. I liked it.
Good.
Shocker.
Yeah, their website.
Didn't you buy all the Brook City last week?
Yeah, I picked it up at the old Origin.
We played against the what is his name? It's the Guy Fieri ripoff or parody character.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He's got a Cadillac and he drives around picking up drugs. Ferguson is his name. This is not good radio. There we go. That's coming out pretty good.
Yeah.
He did a good job of his character. Super challenging mission. We lost.
Apparently, I got a discount on my play mat by pre-ordering.
What?
Ooh,
$5 or something?
Yeah, that's the.
But you can't buy the play mats in the stores. They don't sell them. So that's sort of exclusive.
Yeah. Trying to look at the thing. But now they have a notice on their website. Please note that our shipping service will be closed from July 12th to July 28th inclusively. Therefore, your shipment may be delayed beyond the expected delivery.
You could theoretically still get it before Gen Con.
No, because they're closed till July 28th.
When does Gen Con start? August 1st, I
Well,
thought.
it starts August 1st, but the 28th is a Sunday. So they would ship it on Monday. It's got to come from frickin' Montreal.
There's a chance.
No, there is no chance.
There's a chance.
There is no chance. You're full of shit.
Keith, you don't have to say it out loud, but was there a particular person that sorry, I'm on vacation email came from, or was it just?
No, their whole office is on vacation.
I know, but what was it? Just customer service at planmedia.com?
Let's see here. Let's look at plan.
Are you looking for a specific person there, Richard?
Yes, I am. type the name.
Alex Villemure.
I don't know if that was the name.
Yeah, Alex is
No.
the name. Playing Beat Games Eats at 19 Rue de la Coopérative.
Do the Alaboom jerseys have Ernie on them? No.
No.
I don't have an Alaboom jersey either. I have no jerseys.
Well, you when we got the album jersey, you weren't really you hadn't made it back to the States. Yeah, you were in Malta back then.
I was still at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll run them again.
That's okay.
So remember the Adley jersey? They sent me two of them to replace the one. Like, what? I got one, and then I got a one.
I was really upset that the Adley didn't take off. I wanted people to start calling you Adley.
Why
all
would
the
that
time.
take off?
Because I wanted to. I'm just gonna. We just need to start calling you Adley more often. Just hey Adley, what's up? And then eventually, if you know, just do a grassroots campaign to get it going.
Oh God damn it!
What happened? What happened, Adley? Are you okay?
Dancing dice just fell off the desk and probably.
Oh, Adley, that's horrible. I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
So sorry that happened to you, Adley.
Sorry.
There you go. Let's dress up.
There you go. When do you? I know Richard isn't going. When did the rest of you fools get in to the indie?
Whenever I decide to roll up. I'm going up Tuesday. My plan is to pick up Rob at 10 and haul him downtown or to look around Indy if he wants. Then
I know somebody who lands with his daughter on Tuesday.
When do you guys get in? Is it you and your daughter only now?
Yeah, me and my daughter, noon on Tuesday.
You guys get in at noon? I could run Rob around for a while and then come back and get you two.
That'd be sweet.
I'll have to look into what it is. So, the state of Indiana Department of Transportation are a bunch of fuckwads, and they have decided starting this Saturday and continuing until August 5th to close Interstate 70 from 465 on the west side to downtown Indy. That's the road that goes from the airport to downtown. And that son of a bitch is closed during the entirety of DinCon. So, that
was good timing.
Yeah, it's great timing. You know, the second biggest.
There's only 70,000 people coming to town, and they shut down their road.
The second biggest downtown event of the year, and yeah, it's shut down the airport route. So yeah, that's fun. So we'll have to take alternate routes to the hotels. Where are you staying, Lance?
Hyatt Regency.
Oh, that's where I'm staying. So that's cool.
Yeah, well, that's the only place to stay. BGG Hot Games, baby.
There's a lot of places to stay.
Are you staying at Hyatt too, Aldi?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were split.
I put half the team that doesn't really do hot games room in the other hotel.
Put all the losers in the gym.
Yeah. Well, they go to bed early and they don't come to the hot games room. It's fine. No worries.
They suck.
I have to say, this year's hotel was easy.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It's nice not walking down to the Marriott whenever we stumble out of hot games this year. Not that it was far, it's just late. You're just like, oh, I just want to go fall down.
Yeah. Is that what way it was last year?
Yeah, last year, Jennifer and I
were
down at the Marriott. So when she wanted to leave, I would leave so she'd have somebody to walk her back instead of having to walk at night. But now we're all in the Hyatt. I don't have to do that.
No Indian food trucks this year.
There's an Indian restaurant right next to the food trucks, though. That's a buffet. Yeah.
Where?
The one food truck that's got the giant wok where they make all the Chinese food. That's good. Like the noodles and stuff. Then
I thought those were those were all right. They work. The pizza place was not good.
No.
The giant pizza 2-story truck with the pizza oven in the truck. Not a fan. It was not worth the wait.
The best ever was when I went to the soul food thing and I got their they're like I forget some sort of weird nachos and as I'm eating the nachos the food inspector came and shut them down.
Nice.
Yeah, just what's that guy?
Jerk chicken place?
Yeah, I think it was. I was just like, that's great. It's like I'm eating the last 2 chips, and then the guy's like,
we usually do pretty well at Gen Con because the food trucks are great. You go grab them and bring it back to the booth and eat real fast. But now if there's like
but the food trucks you have to go stand in line for fuck all.
Doesn't feel that long, is it?
It's you get in line. It's like, oh, okay. It's like 20 minutes before you get up to the thing, And I'm just like, what the fuck? This is just
the pretzel sandwich place was really good. Did you guys ever eat that? What's that?
Like the pretzel things. They had that Chewbacca pretzel that was pretty tasty.
Those were awesome. My God, we found that on the last day, and we're like, where was this been all week?
Well, probably on rotation out.
Yeah. Yes. Well, the Indian food trucks they used to have were really great. Now they're not. There's no Indian. It's just weird to me. Where did they go out of business?
Oh, I totally want to go to this place that's in downtown Indy. That's right over there by it. There is Bad Axe Throwing.
I got one of those in my neighborhood.
And now there's an escape room right there by downtown too, next to the Hooters, just past the Omni. Now, Escape Room Indy.
It'll probably be booked damn heavy.
Probably. I'm trying to find the Indian restaurant and I don't see it. Maybe it's.
Did your schedule get fixed up at all, or are you still on the same boat?
I don't know. Doris told me not to worry about it because so she added me on those 2 10 to 12 and boosted into 3 people attending the room on the 10 to 12 and the others. And 10 to 12, you're done because all you're doing is chasing.
The last ticket is 10.
Yeah, the last ticket's 10, so about 10:30 you're done.
Well, here's the thing.
You definitely don't need 3 people.
No.
2 people can handle it. It's not bad, but
there's 50 tickets for Friday night that didn't get sold.
That's crazy. That's
which is weird to me. Like, okay, so the room's going to be like half empty during that hour. Like, how did that happen? All the tickets for the nights are sold out.
Well, the nice thing is we're keeping people outside with the door closed, so they can't see how empty it is when they come whining with generics, and we tell them no. We'll just tell them it's full.
Yeah.
Well, no, during prime time, that's
a challenge because people are like, they get really pissy, man. I think someone yelled at Doris last year.
Yeah, she did.
That's not appropriate.
I remember when you were trying to give out, try to tell people like certain things, and you couldn't. The loudspeaker wouldn't work, so I had to yell it for you.
Yeah, we're supposed to have the loudspeaker.
Well, they misquoted the price. They gave me the real price today, so we're trying to negotiate.
Oh, you're negotiating?
Well, yeah, the price was reasonable when they first sent it. I'm like, oh, that's not bad. Let's do it. Done. And then they read, oops, we didn't multiply that by 4.
We left out a decimal.
Yeah, basically a multiplier of 4. And I'm like, okay, send us the real price. Okay, no. But then Beth's negotiating, and she's really good at that. So we'll get it.
Tell Doris before they leave because she'll bring that portable one.
We have a portable PA as well. That's better than the portable one you guys had last year.
Yeah. We just need a bullhorn.
Yeah, basically.
A bullhorn would work.
Just all right, shut up.
Look, everybody. Listen to us. Anthony figured out a system though that was pretty useful. But you had to always sit in the same spot, which doesn't really work. Where's Anthony? Is he going to Gen Con?
Yeah.
He said he was going to come help punch games.
He's supposed to be there.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
I don't have anybody else punch games. That's what I was told in the rules.
By the way, we need punch game moderators, mentors. We lost so many pieces last year.
Well,
people punch games like idiots.
I didn't butt in.
I love free labor, but punch the games. What's up?
I said I didn't butt in during the meeting last night because they said they're going to have a bin put the sprues in so we could check them for it. The problem is if we throw all of them in a bin, we're still not going to know what fucking game they came out of. So what you do is after you punch a game, before you take your sprues up, you yell at a buddy to check your sprues for you. And they check your sprues, make sure there's no pieces, and we move on. And that's what the system we need to implement. So
why don't you just let the people who check the game out punch it?
They're worse.
Oh, because they'll tear it up.
That's worse. Yeah.
Well, first off, they'll because they wasted their time.
I mean,
punching them.
If they don't punch everything out, they can't play the game. They're right there to play the game. And
we've experimented with that before. It ends up being really bad. Like it like I don't know. It didn't work. So what you get is unbagged things, like just swept into the bar. No bag, nothing.
As soon as they check it back in anyway.
Pardon?
That's what you get as soon as they check it back in anyway.
They do a pretty good job of putting it back together.
They do that. If the things start in bags, they usually end up back in the bags sometimes. People
tend to duplicate.
People are very inconsiderate at these conventions about games.
You think?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a weird thing I've noticed. Like they would never treat their own games that way.
Oh, that's just said it's not their game.
You know, but it's somebody else's game.
Yeah, but they don't know you, so fuck you.
Well,
yeah, I mean, a level to that's true.
Yeah.
Of how they treat it.
Yeah, what was one of the games got all the pieces put in the same box? It was 2 games, and all the pieces from one game got put in the second box, like just a table sweep. And a very nice couple sat there for an hour of their own time and separated it. It was really nice of them. And I forget who they were. But yeah. The trials and tribulations of running a library.
Yeah. It is. Hopefully nothing leaves this.
People step on stuff. We lost 2 games last year. I think we lost the Quacks and we lost a Forbidden Sky.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Still Forbidden Sky. There was probably 1 or 2 more that we didn't notice, but we needed those games badly. Or, like those were the most popular ones.
Yeah. They stole stuff that they couldn't buy.
Losing the Quacks sucked because we borrowed that from North Star, and they're like, they came back to get it, and they're like, we don't have it. Oops.
Oh, that does.
Yeah, and they only had like 1 copy.
Oh
my god, it felt terrible. Like, okay.
And we go around and I take my flashlight and I crawl under the table and check for pieces and find a bunch under the tables.
Convention tables like just drop pieces like water. It's like spilling water.
Then you walk around and pick up all people's water cups because they can't.
People are slobs, yeah. They don't throw away their own trash, just leave their shit around. Leave chip bags.
It's basically like following children around.
Yeah, pretty much. Full grown.
Yeah. And you'll say 1 game per table because you can only play 1 game at a time, and you walk by 6 games that they're thinking about playing piled up while they're playing another game. To deny people, and we got to where we just go pick them up and walk off with them.
Yeah, you're like, what? Oh, what are they going to say? We're playing that? Like, no, you're not.
You're playing. Your time's up in 35 minutes. Shut up. I'm not mean like that. I promise.
I have not spent any time enforcing in the hot games room. I'm glad you guys are good with it.
We don't have to do too much enforcing. There's
it's every once in a while.
We're almost done with our game. I'll give you 5 more minutes.
I don't know how I would have handled someone yelling in my face.
Nobody yelled at me, but I did start
put
them in the box.
You did what?
I told somebody their time was up. I told them they got 5 more minutes. After 5 minutes, they're still sitting there. I walked up like, we're almost done. And I started just grabbing pieces and putting them in the box. Not the ones they're still using, but
the ones on the side.
I gave them the hint they were done. I get it.
I wish I could just sell day passes, right?
Yeah.
I sell 400 or 500 day passes and then we're done. But Gen Con didn't work that way.
Why not? They let the Gen Con library do that.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be like the Gen Con library.
Yeah, that's true.
Just said it to be different.
Because they finally did it differently. I remember the last time I did the Gen Con library was when they finally had it right, where you could, if you bought the day passes for every day, they would just give you a badge and you were done. And then you could just come and go as you
wanted.
But it was so goddamn crowded because the Gen Con library had been in the same room for years at that point. And Gen Con had grown in the time that the library was in that same room by double the number of attendees almost. Not quite. It had probably grown 70% with the same size library. And it was just, you couldn't even breathe. It smelled like hot, stanky nerd in there all the time. And you couldn't even find a table. So you'd have a ticket and there was no place to play. And you couldn't take the games out. So it's
What do you do at that point? You'd be like, not my problem.
Yeah, you're like, I'm sorry or whatever, but sorry.
So I would rather have a hot games room where it's very pleasant, undercrowded.
But now they put it in
Completely full.
Lucas is a great space because it's open, it's not stanky, it's big.
It's quiet too. It's surprisingly quiet.
It's quiet because nobody's in there.
The noise gets sucked out of a giant stadium. You would think it'd be louder for some reason.
I'm telling you, we could make better use of that space than they do because I think we could fill it even more. Because I think we've got the better ticket.
Yeah, we have to make a ticket more expensive.
Yeah.
And then we'd be basically running a convention in the convention.
Yeah. Well, you almost are.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Good night, Richard.
Yeah, I was just thinking about wrapping her up. So we got to figure out once, as I said before, once we get done with the Gen Con and we get back, we'll have to hammer out how we're gonna. Oh, excuse me. We'll have to hammer out how we're gonna actually do this, but we'll figure it out, right? Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Freaking Rodney Smith showed up. I had summoned him with the sorries.
What are you doing up so late?
What game were we playing? Oh, what's Unmatched, Rodney?
That's the game from Restoration.
He's joking.
I don't know. Well, Rodney and I always play one game together at the con. So
you should play. By the way, guys, I looked at Keyforge tonight at the store. It was on the very, very bottom shelf, pushed almost all the way to the back. You could barely find it. Remember Keyforge last year?
Oh, wait. Unmatched. He wants me to play that game I was picking on earlier.
Unmatched.
Yeah, that's that Bruce Lee versus, I don't know, Robin Hood or whatever shit. I'm going to pick that up again. So it's some kind of battle game. It's the kind of games I don't play. That way he has to say sorry when he's done whipping my ass. Perfect, I'll win. Yes. Okay. I guess I'll have to go watch his video on how to play it and actually not sleep through it this time.
Are you in the booth, Lance, much this year? You got shifts and stuff? Or are you freer? Lance?
What? I'm sorry, what?
Are you in the booth much this year? Are you on shifts and stuff? No? Get your more freedom roam this year?
Scott, we had a conversation. Like
who?
You and me. We had a conversation on Facebook, remember?
No. What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
No.
Scott.
No, I was just...
You're going to get chastised in chat.
Never mind. I don't know what we're talking about. So, we're going to play... what's that Cthulhu game we played last year that was awesome?
I don't know. What a Cthulhu game last year that we played?
What's that Cthulhu game with the cards where you're either an investigator or you're not, or a Cthulhu? What game is it, Lance?
Oh, the one.
Don't get Cthulhu. What is it called?
Yeah, don't mess with Cthulhu.
Don't mess with Cthulhu. That's a good game.
That game is really good.
Do I need to throw it in my bag? To bring
yeah, throw it in your bag, actually.
Rodney, I know what I'm going to make you play with me. You need to play Greenville 1989 with us.
Oh, yeah, Greenville.
You need to play that because that's cool because I'm bringing it up, too. All right, I got to get my stupid don't mess with Cthulhu out or I'll forget.
Lovecraft letter all night long.
Hmm.
I don't know if Keyforge is dead, but the game store I went to tonight, it was pushed on the bottom shelf of new releases all the way, like tucked in the very, very, very bottom corner. I mean, there's like, if you're being honest, 5 or 6 shelves of new releases, and Keyforge was in like the worst placement that you could possibly make on that shelf. I don't think it's the Magic Killer.
I don't think it'll kill Magic now.
I mean, I don't even know if it's in the same ballpark. I mean, they've done over 1 million cards or something, right? Or 1 million decks. That's a shit ton of decks online registered. That's crazy. What's up, Barry? When are you gonna come back to Gen Con?
I will never go to Gen Con. Too many people.
Too many people. I agree.
Way too many people. My days at cons may be over with. I don't know if I'll ever walk right this again. You know.
We'll get you a scooter.
Yeah, you're a rascal.
I'm doing everything I can now to get out of a fucking wheelchair. You want me to get back in one? Yeah.
Only for the convention so you can run over people.
You want him to bust his ass too.
Right.
So Rutger Hauer no longer with us.
I thought that was a hoax.
No.
We're legit. Okay.
Oh, I don't want to go to work in the morning.
So don't.
Yeah.
I got to.
I wish it was Gen Con tomorrow. We could just go and get it over with.
Yeah, let's just go.
Although I would have none of my stuff because it's not here yet.
I'll meet you there in an hour and a half. I think
All right, cool.
about that time.
Probably only be like 24 hours of driving here from here.
Yeah.
20 something.
All of these moments will be lost like tears in the rain.
It's 24 hours from you to Gen Con.
It's like 20.
I was gonna say it was 24 from me to you, and I'm in Delaware.
Let me measure it out. Dallas to Indianapolis. What would we do without Google Maps? Oh, it's not too bad. It's only 13 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
Well,
didn't
20.
think it was that far.
I guess you could do that in one day. If you really pushed it.
Yeah.
Or it's a 2-hour flight. Take the 2-hour flight. All right. I gotta go watch the Mueller thing now.
So you can be depressed too?
Is it depressing?
I don't know. It's politics.
I wanted to watch it, and I just haven't. I've been like in the game here all day, so kind of
From what I understand, not a lot was accomplished.
nothing was accomplished. That's
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, neither am I.
All right, Barry, be good. Lance, Scott, I will see you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
see you guys
so just all our loyal Alaboomers, just go to either follow me on the Twitter machine or go to the Facebook group, Alaboom, and then just like join that group or whatever, and we'll post how we're gonna do this after the fact. So we'll figure it out some way, somehow. I heard something about VMix or something.
Yeah, I'll get you hooked up. Did you see our live stream we did on Sunday night, Monday morning? I know.
No,
I know.
I no, I did not. I don't know.
Well, you can go look at it and see how it kind of works with 4 people.
Is it only allow 4 people?
No, it allows 8. 6. 8.
Which one is it? 6 or 8? 68? 86? How many?
Lance, you should be nicer to me.
I know I
You
should be
should
nicer
be.
to you. I'm sorry. I apologize. Oh, mighty one.
You're hurting my feelings.
Don't you know who he is?
Yes, I know exactly who he is.
My feeling. It hurts.
My feeling hurt.
I'll be for the oldie.
Right now. Purchase software.
No, we'll figure it out. And we'll be able to do this again.
It's 8 callers for $1,200.
Jeez.
That's the one we'll get.
Jeez.
We'll sell some games. We'll sell a copy of we'll sell like 5 copies of 6 copies of Vikingatid.
Vikingatid, yeah. I was just gonna.
I've been storing them up here for you. I've been like hoarding.
Yeah.
You can't find any in the world.
Actually, I'm you one of those things where it's like I actually bought these just so I could burn them in front of you.
Yes. I have Ostindia Company Company. I don't even know how to say that. You know that one too. That's
Yeah.
And no, we can figure it out.
Every 2-3 weeks, I go to eBay and I type in Vikingated, and and then
They're on
like
BTG, dude. You can get one now.
I know, but it's like you got to get them from Finland.
What's wrong with that? We live in a global economy and a global shipping commerce system. How is it hard to order a game from Finland? Like what is it? I order stuff overseas all the time. Prices have gone up, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. Well, 115 euros now is like the cheapest one. You're probably gonna hate the game, so don't buy it.
It's I don't have Rails, but that's like one of my few things.
I know. Don't hear Grails.
Yeah. So, and speaking of the devil, my daughter just woke up. So, what's up, honey?
Paul Tompkins says to
What? What'd you say? Second. I'm talking to him. What was it now?
Paul Tompkins says do commercials for boner pills.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Boner medicine.
Done.
All right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you at Gen Con.
I don't want to end on that. I mean, come on, we got to talk about something else real quick.
Okay. Anybody know any cool RPGs that are being released at Gen Con?
Did you see our RPG block that we're gonna do?
No.
You don't read anything on PGG, do you?
What?
He can't even tell you last time he was on BGG.
I got another thing here.
Today.
Let me
I can't.
Let me promote one more thing, because do you guys see the Terraforming Mars print we're doing?
No.
You're
okay.
still
Well, there
doing
you go. We're doing.
Oh no, I did see. I saw the.
We're doing another
print
series
too.
of art prints. So that's Terraforming Mars.
Did the first set do okay?
Yeah, they do fine.
Yeah.
We're going to resell all the sets. We're during a pre-order period. You can order any of the old ones too. But after that, yeah, you have to. It's like a Kickstarter, except not Kickstarter. And then we also have,
you paid a 2% to yourself. Yeah.
We also have Gloomhaven. Did you see the Gloomhaven one?
I saw the Gloomhaven one. Yes.
And then we also did one that is kind of controversial. The Miko went down a winner. This one's
Why is that controversial?
Well, it's scary.
Hmm.
Is it art? Is it too scary to put on the wall?
Yeah.
I love the eyeball, man.
What's the RPG blog thing? What is this?
Oh yeah, okay. Let me go back to the Board Game Geek has the front page thing where you can see what we're doing at Gen Con. Broadcast schedule right here. I think it's on Saturday. Hosted by Chad Roberts. He filled it up. Times it start, Chad. 1. Isle of Dread, Fallout RPG, Dune RPG, Cyberpunk 2020, Lords and Lands expansion for the Witcher RPG, Shard of the Broken Sky, Night Black Agents, Solo Ops, Teens in Space, Icarus, a storytelling game about how great civilizations fall, Outbreak, Undead 2nd Edition Game Master's Guide, Altered Carbon. Oh, there's an Altered Carbon RPG. That's cool. Delta Green RPG. The Sea Demons Gold, The Song of the Sun Queens, Haunted West, Stargate SG-1. Dude, this is the one for you, Lance.
Yeah, that'll suck.
Adventures fantasy role-playing game. Pound of Flesh. Threefold Age Campaign Builder's Guide, Mutant Masterminds Deluxe Game Master Guide, Mutant Masterminds Super Team. Oh, holy shit, Chad! There's a lot of games here. Degenesis Black Atlantic, and then Shadows of Esteren Fate Forge. There you go. It's a lot of stuff.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he didn't have
2 hours.
He didn't get Lamentations of the Flame Princess. They're releasing stuff too.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I thought that guy was sort of like out.
Well, he's not out, though he's hated.
Oh. We can't have him on the stream.
Why? Because he's hated?
Yeah.
That's, well, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it's your show, right?
Yeah. It's our show.
You do what you want. It's too bad that guy's hated. Right? They make really good, really cool RPG stuff.
Oh yeah, I bought the Medusa dungeon thing. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
There's some.
But Oh well. All right, we can end on that.
Yeah, we're done. We'll end on that.
No blue
All
pill.
right. And then Boner Medicine. All right. Good night, everybody.
Everybody.